Hello, everybody, and welcome to the year of the fire horse. So, we are doing a fun little celebration today. We're going to be doing an exercise to honor the year of the snake and the Kundalini snake energy. We're going to go through all of the different wisdom and insights that you might have gained in the year of the snake and honor those. And then we're going to do a little exercise where we connect with the horse. But it is a very exciting day because not only is it the Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year, it is also the solar eclipse in Aquarius, the new moon in Aquarius. It is also the first day of Ramadan. It is also because, as you guys know, I recently just moved to Louisiana and it is Mardi Gras. Okay. And I don't know anything about it and I haven't gone outside today. So, I can't say that I know a lot about Mardi Gras. However, we're going to be doing a couple of little exercises about those too. So we're going to keep it fun and light today. I'm going live here on Instagram. We're here over on TikTok. So hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday Night Live, where we do a live stream every Tuesday night. And this is long form content. Usually we break down topics in spirituality, but today is a very fun, special day. Is anyone's YouTube not working? Someone just came over to TikTok to say that YouTube wasn't working. So hopefully that ends up working and you guys figure it out. If not, let me know in the comments. And I don't know what to tell you. I can only do what I do. And that's what happens when we have a live stream is, the problems happen live and in action and they don't get cut out. So if you have the attention span for live, long form, live content that is not edited, then you are in the right place. Okay. So let's start off with a card. So we're going to pull a card from the Sacred Symbols Oracle deck by Marcella Kroll. YouTube home is not working. Whoa, YouTube is down. But if you go directly to the page, the app is not working. What is going on, guys? Hopefully that gets figured out because I don't know what to do. But we have people here, so it's definitely working on the live stream. Hello, everybody. YouTube works for you. Oh, right. So this is going to be our vibe tonight. Ah, beautiful. This is the vibe. So growth. Now, we actually got this card in the last Tuesday Night Live as well. So growth. I'll give a quick little vibe about this. So, as we know, how does growth work? Growth works in a spiral. So, we have some type of inciting incident. This inciting incident, when it comes to growth, sometimes could be a traumatic thing, could be a good thing. But as we know, that a lot of times the most growth happens from something that is a little bit hard or a little bit painful. Because if we look at a seed, it has to break through. If we look at an egg, it has to crack to be born. So there is some type of breaking point that happens. And then we gain insight. And then we come back around to this spiral. Sorry, I glitched out. I'm AI. Um, so we come back to the spiral and then we kind of revisit that initial crack, but from a different perspective. But it happens pretty quickly the first time. Then we get a little bit more time, a little bit more perspective, and further away. And then we kind of hit that again, but we see it again. This is why sometimes when it comes to our healing journey, we think that we're done. We think that we've figured it out. I'm finally shed it. This end of the year of the snake, I have finally shed it. I'm finally done with that fear and that insecurity and not having boundaries or having concerns in, your friendships or your money or your love life. But then the spiral comes around again and we get hit with a new version of it. And usually that version is a little bit safer and a little bit more distance. And the spiral, a lot of times, is a 3D going upwards. So we have a higher perspective each time. And then it comes around again and we get even more time. We get so much time from that incident and that feeling and that wound that we think, oh, wow, now I'm really healed from it. And then it comes back around again, wide enough. And then we're much higher. So we're further from that initial wound, but then we still face it from a new perspective. And this happens. And this is the spiral of healing and the spiral of growth. So this is where a beautiful thing to talk about when we are talking about honoring the year of the snake. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on today. So, as we know, this is the Chinese New Year. So, the Lunar New Year is actually the first new moon after the solstice. And this was where farmers would get a rest before planting their seeds for the spring year, for in spring. Now, also what's happening today, it's the first day of Ramadan. So now this is not a lunar new year in Ramadan. It's actually, I believe, like the ninth or 10th month in like the Islamic calendar. But what this is because a similar reason to this kind of farmers would take a break before planting seeds. Ramadan is a similar thing. This is why it's a slowdown. It's a time of prayer, as you guys know, a time of fasting, because they actually don't eat from dawn until sunset. And then they eat at night, celebrate with community, prayer, reflection, and then spend the day fasting again. So it's a time of community reflection and a reset. Now, like I said, I live in Louisiana now, and it is Mardi Gras out there. Everybody is wearing their colorful stuff. I'm sure there's a ton of people. I don't live that close to New Orleans. I actually live closer to Texas. So there is still Mardi Gras happening here, but it's pretty tame. And so actually Mardi Gras is Fat Tuesday is what they call it. Plump Tuesday, we're being politically correct here. And so this is your final indulgence before Lent. So tomorrow will be Ash Wednesday, and then that is the beginning of Lent. And Lent is 40 days of kind of sacrifice, similar to the fasting and similar to this kind of reset that happens with the Lunar New Year. And then that is 40 days of, something that you give up for Lent until Easter. And then, of course, we have our solar eclipse that happened today in Aquarius. So, as we know, solar eclipses are a complete shifting of energy, a complete shifting of timeline, complete reset. And happening in the sign of Aquarius, this is happening in the sign of innovation, community, looking at things in new ways, human progress. It's also rebellion. It's also Aquarius can be emotionally detached. So this might be a good time to have an emotional detachment from that old wound that happened a long time ago that you keep facing in a new light. And then also it's happening at 28 degrees. So 28 degrees is right before the anaretic degree, which is the final threshold of a sign. So we're actually right before that final threshold of what Aquarius has to show us and teach us. And then, as we know, a new moon. A new moon is a reset, it's the new cycle. And the new moon is the dark moon, right? It's similar to the void because when it's a new moon, there's no moon in the sky that is visible to us. It is complete darkness, and complete darkness is a void, emptiness. And the void is where all of creation begins, all of creation comes from. And that's the very essence of creation. So when we talk about, spiritual concepts, we talk about like first there was darkness and then there was light. And so that's what we're in right now is in this darkness is not something that's scary. Darkness is actually this beautiful place where anything can emerge from and anything can be created. So that's where we're at. I'm going to give it a few more minutes for some people to show up before we start our first exercise. So let's talk a little bit about what the year of the snake was. It was the wood snake that we just finished, and now we're going into the fire horse. That was yin energy, and now we're going to yang energy. Okay. So that was the shedding old patterns. That was the inner wisdom. Now we're having outer expression, explosive momentum, action, courage, speed, passion, breakthrough, hitting the ground running. The snake is more hermit energy, inner wisdom. Now we have outer freedom, intensity. And so in other cultures, just in general, because we're going to kind of break down, we're going to work with the snake first, is fertility. So this is kind of, the inward, right? Fertility is the implantation or just the place for the seed to be implanted, right? For the baby to be implanted and then to grow within. Now we have like this breakout, come to the outer world. So as we know, like in its true form, mostly the snake represents transmutation and renewal. and also, death and rebirth and temptation in Christianity, right? Because we're touching all the different cultures because all of these different cultures are coming together for this lunar day, this event that is happening. So, in Christianity, it's temptation. But for the most part, most other cultures see it as something more transmutation, renewal. Um, Egyptians, they saw it as a divine authority. They would wear a snake over their third eye on their crown. Aztecs have the snake god, which is renewal, creation, wisdom. And in China, it means good fortune. So we're going to work with this Kundalini energy, though, because the Kundalini is what we're going to work with today. And then we're going to go into the horse. But let's talk a little bit about the horse, which is independence, adventure, freedom, honor. In Chinese culture, it's prosperity, perseverance, success. In Lakota culture, it is sacred for receiving visions, healing, and ceremony. In the Middle East, it has to do with nobility and loyalty. In Hinduism, it has to do with divine power. And it's also very something that we see with the chariots, right? So in all different things, we have this chariot energy, which is like this threshold breaking through. So let's take. So, what we're going to do is and you guys tell me the answers to what's coming up for you in the chat, in the comments. And we're going to go through some Kundalini energy. And this is just like a simple type of exercise that we can all share together. It's not a meditation or visualization. You guys know I do that on my Substack. I have hypnosis and meditations on there that I guide exercises similar to this sometimes. I'm going to be offering to the paid subscribers live coaching. So I think once a month, we're going to do a group live chat and people can come on. It won't be recorded. You only can do it if you come live because I want people to be able to talk about, we'll pick a couple people to kind of share what's going on in their life, what they need advice with. Maybe it's something that's a transitional thing. Maybe they're trying to build their spiritual business. Maybe it's a spiritual thing that's going on. Maybe they want to work on their intuition. And, I'll kind of give the insights and resources to what I think could best help them. And like I said, those are going to be once a month on my Substack. So that's kind of something that I want to start offering and actually shortening the class because my biggest feedback that I get from the class that I do once a month is that it's long and people actually would like it to be a little bit shorter. So they would like the hypnosis and then actually the class a little shorter. So I would like to then maybe have a live call with everybody. And I think that would be a little bit more fun and more desired for what people want. And then since I talk about a lot of the topics on my Tuesday Night Live, the people who want the long form can do the long form and sit and be a part of it here. Shipibo have the snake, knowledge of the universe. Oh, beautiful, right? I actually have, I didn't even think about it, but I have it over there. A Shipibo art, which is, the Icaros. And it was from the maestra who did my ceremony. She made it, and it's the two snakes of Mother Ayahuasca. Okay, so let's start. We're going to start at the base. We are going to start at the base. Take a moment in this. See, I'm in this red, beautiful room. For a moment, think about your root chakra. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a moment because what we're going to look at is wisdom and knowledge and transmutation. So, first, I want everybody to share your answers. So, what does the root chakra represent? It represents survival, structure, safety, foundation. So, this past year, the year of the snake, as we're finally shedding and honoring, what did you learn? What wisdom did you gain, or what did you transmute in the topic of survival or safety? Now, this could be maybe it was a money pressure. Maybe there was some money pressure that forced you to get disciplined about something. Or, for me, I moved completely across the country, and my foundation completely changed. Maybe it was something health related, and maybe something health related that basically led you to make a change in your lifestyle. Maybe something to do around survival safety. Maybe you were pushed to ask for help instead of having to just push through everything on your own. You understood more about the unorganic overlay net system. I'm not sure what you mean by that. You learned how to heal and regulate your nervous system. Oh, that's beautiful. You just watched an old video of me and Sarah Brooksman Cosme today. Oh, I know. Those are so good. You guys have to watch those. That you don't need a partner to survive, that you can do it all alone. That's beautiful. You learned how to let yourself rest. I loved it. You stopped talking to your friend of 10 years. And so what did that teach you? Did that teach you that basically like life goes on and that if something isn't aligned anymore, that it's okay to let it go? Health issues meant that you had to ask for help and work on treating your body better. Mm, you needed to hear that after 8 years. Boundaries are a must. You learned that you've always had enough and will always have enough. Ah, beautiful. You learned to stop people pleasing. You learned that death is a return to the grand oneness. Oh, losing your love to cancer. I'm so sorry about that. That's one of the hardest things, when it comes to survival. Sometimes, you know, we learn about it through others and it really is, one of the most difficult lessons from this side, but also at the same time, what comes through in a lot of my hypnosis sessions is people talk about like it is so beautiful. Like if we really knew how beautiful the other side was, like we need the fear of death. Otherwise, we'd all want to go back there all the time. You walked away from misaligned friendships after many years. Wow, yes. Letting go of all the grounded me community business as you knew it and finances as you knew it, trusting the transition. Beautiful. Balance, so much balance, balance and discipline with childlike joy. Beautiful, you guys. I'm actually pretty cool and amazing and not a scapegoat that you were led to be. Oh, I love that. You lost your pet of 14 years. I'm sorry. And your best friend passed away in the same month. Oh, I'm sorry you went through that. So this year, I learned to be present and going back to school for a goal. Oh, that's beautiful. You learned that you really need to take care of yourself in order to show up better for your family. You lost 40 pounds by implementing self care. Wow. You also learned that you're neurodivergent. Whoa, good for you. 40 pounds, that's a huge, huge accomplishment. That is like, honestly, the weight loss journey. My sister has been on a weight loss journey, and it's incredible how every single area of her life has improved. And not to say that, there's only one way to be. But the discipline that it takes, she has been able to like conquer things because that's like such a hard thing to conquer. She's been able to conquer like everything since then. Like it is amazing. You embrace non-attachment. Ooh, that's a good one. Oh, you lost your job, but learned over the year that your self-worth was not tied to a job. Ooh, you guys are doing this. Okay. So let's take a moment because we're going to move through all of the chakras today. Let's take a moment to honor ourselves, to honor this lesson and wisdom that we gained in the area of survival in our root chakra through this energy of the snake. And we're moving with this Kundalini energy, and we're going to move up to the sacral, and we're just going to honor this deep foundation, survival, safety, structure that we gained through this transmutation, through this shedding of this skin, even if it was difficult in the moment. Now that we're going into this fire horse, this is independence, this is action, this is passion, this is adventure. So it's like, okay, let's take these lessons and not make it our story. And this is the other thing, we're going to be releasing the stories with this, okay? So now let's move to our sacral. So the sacral can be creativity, can be pleasure, can be desires. Okay. So let's take a moment and reflect. What did you learn? What wisdom did you gain? What did you transmute in the area of creativity, desire, pleasure? Did pleasure teach you guys something? Maybe a lack of pleasure taught you something that you need something in your life. Maybe you got honest about your desires. Maybe your desires about the type of love that you want or job that you want or living in your purpose or your passion, that desire to have a more fulfilling life, to have a more pleasureful life. So another thing, so people pleasing can be in the survival, and people pleasing could also be here, like learning that you have the desire to want what you want emotionally, to want what you want from friends, to want what you want. Um, this is also the sexual chakra. You know, I'm trying to not get another violation on TikTok. I got one before I even started the live because we were talking about the Epstein files again. Um, but like, where did you reclaim joy without guilt or reclaim pleasure without guilt? Was there a creative block that you broke through? Was there a creative project that you started? What about discovering what you enjoy, what turns you on emotionally, physically, psychologically, intellectually? What about letting go of shame for wanting more in your life, for more desire? And also knowing that like your desire is information, right? Desire is an information that you're receiving that's like, okay, well, what else do I want here? What am I needing? You got honest about your love, but about my love for performing and acting and got back on stage after 20 plus years. Hell yeah, Christy. Good for you. That is like one of the ultimate desires, right? Is the desire as an artist, as a performer. And you know what? Like performing and acting is absolutely a medicine. Jules said, reclaiming self respect in romantic relationships through singlehood for a year. Oh, I love it. Like, honestly, being single is one of the greatest medicines for love and relationships. I mean, you guys know I was single and celibate for 3 years, and it was really the best medicine that I ever needed to be able to open up to love. Oh, thank you. I love your hard hitting questions. I'm doing my best to contain myself and not respond to everything. Respond. Do the thing, girl. You just booked an improv class. Yes, exactly. I mean, improv is a great way to play with your creativity. Okay, let's see what's happening here in TikTok. You learn how to honor your desire. You used to be annoyed by it. Oh, wow. Yes, pleasure needs to be enjoyed in balance. Exactly. Well, I'm gonna have a follow-up question for this one. I opened myself up to love again, and you finally got in a relationship. Oh, I love that. Learning to access your own light and protect yourself from others' energy has improved your anxiety. Beautiful. You started being more selfish. A lot of people pleasing is slowly leaving the body. And you know what? Let's change that. Let's say you're being like self full, right? You're fulfilling yourself because, it's kind of like selfless or selfish. Well, where's the self-full, right? Where's like when you can actually it's a good thing. You reclaimed your femininity and beauty without being a caged bird for someone who wants you hidden. Ooh, I love that. You learn to honor your sexual boundaries and preferences. Yes. Self-full. Yes. Okay, let's see over here on YouTube. Okay. You can learn that you could make it on your own. You walked away from friends, family, and everyone started over. You put yourself first. You quit drinking. You quit smoking. You started hiking. Oh, I love it. Good for you. Let's see. You are all enough. We are love and joy. I know. I love when we do these exercises. We did one for Pluto and Aquarius, and it was so much fun. It really is so nice to have everybody like kind of move through this energy and celebrate each other. No, I'm so excited for this. Okay. So let's see. Heal your nervous system seems to be a meme, but my goodness, does it work? Oh, it works. It starts with slowing down. Yes. So you guys on my Substack this month, my for my paid subscribers, once a month I put out a hypnosis recording. This one is about nervous system regulation. So it's funny that you mentioned that. So what I did in this hypnosis, and I'm kind of proud of it, I combined hypnosis with a somatic exercise with tapping. So we have you tapping in the hypnosis. It's so good because it's designed like, sure, you can do it the day it comes out, and we just pick something that comes up for you. But I want you guys to download it and use it when you're activated, use it when you're triggered, use it when that text message comes in, use it when you have to send that text message, use it when you have that trigger that came up and now your nervous system has been activated. And yes, it's a 30-minute hypnosis, but 30 minutes is a lot shorter than a week. My nervous system got activated last week, and I spent the last 7 days popping stress vitamins like GABA and theanine and, taking magnesium and, the recording that hypnosis, I felt so much better and I was like, "Ah," like just having a tool that I can just use when I'm stressed versus letting it play out, 7 days. Okay. So let's take a moment and enjoy this desire, creativity. Anybody who's watching this later, maybe there's a project that you've been thinking about, a podcast you wanted to start, a book you've wanted to write, a story you've wanted to tell. You wanted to get back to singing, you wanted to get back to dancing, you wanted to get back to acting. Whatever your thing is, we're honoring in this like deep orange energy. And this year of the snake, we're shedding these ideas of like, that you can't do that. Oh, no, what are you gonna be, a starving artist? No, you don't have to be a starving artist. You get to express yourself in all of these different ways, and not everything needs to be a job, not everything needs to be for money. And also money can come from any type of way that you express yourself. So you can be a thriving artist if you'd like. Mm, yes, yes. Magnesium, yes. I know, the magnesium's been helping. I took the drugs and the drugs are working. Okay, so beautiful. So we're gonna move this kundalini energy up, year of the snake, year of the shedding. So in this last year, in the year of the snake, moving to the solar plexus, which represents power, identity, will, courage. So where did you reclaim your power this past year? Where did you reclaim your power and share it in the chat? Could it have been setting a boundary maybe? That could have been also in survival for some people. Some people did bring that up for survival. Losing control and realizing control was never the solution, right? Losing control is something to do with power, right? Because sometimes we have our power through control and actually realize there's a lot more freedom. And we're moving into this year of freedom. We're moving into the fire horse. We're moving into independence. So maybe quitting something that wasn't aligned or owning your ambition without apology. Beautiful. You want to go back to school and we'll finish your GED and keep living your best life. Hell yeah. Where's this hypnosis with the tapping? Yes, so it's on my Substack. So, on my Substack, it's jennifercarmody@substack.com. I'm gonna put this up here on TikTok. I don't have this available on the other platforms. I'm gonna pin that. You can put your email address in there, and I'll add you to the list. Even though this says about hypnosis, I'm not gonna send you the hypnosis, one-on-one stuff. I'll put your name on the Substack, so then you can get that. It's coming out on February 22nd. So there'll be a little 45-minute recording and then the hypnosis. You could honestly just go right down to the hypnosis and download it and save that for a rainy day. You're pausing, now resuming projects you had put up and developing your business content. Yes. I honestly feel too, like for myself with this year of the kind of end of the year of the snake moving into the fire horse, I've been really like kind of cleaning the only way I would describe it is like kind of like cleaning my side of the street. Like all of these different projects and like I kind of had an overactive sacral creativity, like too creative but not enough foundation. And so not enough structure. So the creativity was overactive but the structure's not there. And you guys know I come on and do all this stuff and I'm kind of in a million different directions covering a different topics and I've really started to get more clear on like, okay, where is this all going towards? How can I clean this up? How can I create a system? How can I create a schedule? How can I create a routine? So for me, building that structure, that first chakra, working on that, which was really difficult for me, and then kind of having the creativity kind of be not suppressed, but just kind of eased because we can also have overactive in any of these areas, right? Having this area kind of come to a little bit of, okay, share a little bit with the structure, share a little bit with the survival, then now that I kind of have more balance between my creativity and structure, I feel the solar plexus, the power. I'm like, hell yeah. Now I know what to do. Now I'm not pulled in a million directions. So that's my thing for the solar plexus. You just had a cash record reading today and it told you to do all three of those things. Wow. Told you to do EFT tapping, somatic, dancing, and meditation. Oh my God. Incredible. Yeah, I never saw a hypnosis that does it all together, but that's just what I needed. And you know what? I feel like that's when my nervous system got super activated because I felt like I needed to create what somebody needs to do when their nervous system and they're stressed. And so I feel like the universe like literally like grabbed me by the nervous system and was like, now figure this out. And so as we know, emotion is energy in motion. So how do we feel the emotion, but keep it in motion and not let it get stuck in the body? And that's really, what I've been focusing on is like, we don't want to run away from the emotions or over frame them in a spiritual bypassing. Well, everything happens for a reason. And then comes back to this side of the spiral and then you spiral downward, you know? Set boundaries with friends and family. Will not walk on eggshells. I speak my truth. If you don't like it, that's your problem. Yes. Yes, EFT tapping, somatic, dancing, shaking. Like someone was saying the other day, they're like, well, what if I don't have the energy for like all of that? I'm like, well, then you know what? Just lay in your bed and jiggle. Beautiful. You feel like you'll be in perpetual hypnosis. Well, it's a really good tool that then you'll know how to do on your own. Okay. So owning your ambition, let's see, you kept your boundaries with your spouse, even you nearly got a divorce and you might. Oh my gosh. Well, I did recently hear, and obviously, now that I'm married, my algorithm shows me a lot more married content. And, I don't know all the situations in your relationship, but one thing that I did hear that I thought was really beautiful is they said that you can fall in love many times in your life. And if you're lucky, you can do it with the same person. And you can have an issue in a marriage and, you know, choose to love in a new way, and then both people can grow and evolve. Now, of course, that's a two-person process, right? Because if only one person does it, that's the need for boundaries. But hopefully, you setting boundaries allows your partner to grow and change, and then you guys both become better people. And actually, I don't know if she's here, but actually, oh, I literally, Rebecca, I was just thinking about you. I was just about to say the advice that you gave me. Rebecca gave me advice when I first got married and said, sometimes in marriage, and Rebecca's been married a very, very long time. I think, was it like 20 years? Um, and you said that sometimes it'll be a bad day, 22 years. And I've really taken this advice is sometimes you'll have a bad day. Sometimes it'll be a bad week. Sometimes you'll have a bad month and you're like, listen to me, I've been married 22 years. Sometimes it's going to be a bad year, a bad whole year. And then you said that you're so grateful that you got through that bad year because it's so great and so amazing. And you guys are living your dreams right now. And I think that that's like a really important thing is to know that like through those struggles, sometimes, you learn so much. Oh, thank you. I so appreciate that. Okay, let's move on up. Let's honor the 22 years next week. Oh, congrats, Rebecca. I so appreciate you. I really have loved that advice. That advice really stuck with me, even if in the moment I'm having a bad day. And so we're honoring our will, our courage, our identity, our boundaries, and shedding all of those old stories, all this transmutation and wisdom of the snake, moving on up to the heart. And obviously, as we know, the heart is love, the heart is compassion. We've been talking about empathy before. It can also be things like grief, right? It could also be like grief and loss and pain can be in the heart as well. So, what did love or loss teach you this year? And what was transmuted? What knowledge or wisdom did you gain in the area of the heart chakra this year? You said you're loving all these answers. I know, I love doing these. Yes, curse breaker. You decided to stop generational trauma and chose yourself with healing in the most beautiful way. Yes. You said, do you think the Lunar New Year eclipse actually means anything or only meaningful if we give it meaning? I mean, is that everything, right? You know? Um, Anything can have meaning or no meaning, whatever you want it to have. Um, So, I do think that there's energies at play, but I also think, things are like an egregore, right? When so many people puts their energy towards a certain thing, it becomes real, like Santa Claus, right? Like Santa Claus is not real, but Santa Claus is like an entity, right? Because he's around every Christmas in the minds of all these people and in energy. So even something that if it's and I give Santa Claus as an example, right? Because it's something that we know is not real, but it becomes real in a way, and it's real to children and it's real to families who then celebrate that. So I just give that as an example because it's something that we know 100% is not true, and it becomes true, and it becomes the spirit of Christmas and the spirit of giving. And someone's like, oh, I'm being Saint Nick this year by being super generous. Or so I really think it's whatever, and that could be anything, right? Like I could give meaning to anything. I mean, there's people who worship a rock, you know? Or, we have crystals, which are beautiful and do have meaning, or someone can just say it doesn't. So really, I think that it comes down to everything. And I think people coming together collectively, especially, I mean, there's a lot of people in China, but also a lot of Asia celebrates, right? Vietnam celebrates. A lot of Asia celebrates Lunar New Year. So that's like what, a billion people putting that energy, and then we have all around the world, and then Chinatown in every city celebrating, and then we have people here in Louisiana celebrating Mardi Gras, and then we have people celebrating Ramadan tonight. So and then we have, the witches and everyone celebrating their, eclipse new moon. So I really think that there's a lot of energy to amplify this day. Beautiful. You're reclaiming that it is okay for you to be your sassy self. Yes, I love that. You've been with your honey for 16 years and it ain't easy, but we make it look good. Uh, Grief has many layers. Losing your dad taught you to love more deeply, to let go, and to allow you to deeply empathize with your mother's grief. Wow, that's beautiful, Christy. Thank you for sharing that. No, it's true, right? Because the heart chakra, of course, we could talk about love, but this is the snake. This is transmutation. This is shedding. So it's like, let's talk about also, how loss teaches us a lot, you know? And also, too, like maybe this is realizing that love requires standards. Like someone was just sharing about the boundaries. Is that like, changing their own standards in their relationship that already exists? Maybe letting someone go, sometimes letting someone go. I know there's plenty of people that are going through that as well, that losing someone that they love as a choice because they deserve better or because they've grown in different directions. And, that's something that is like a shedding. And what we have to remember in this shedding as we're going through each thing, what is shed is then filled with this wisdom, with this transmutation, with this kind of meeting of the spiral again and again from a new light and a new lesson that we're learning. But also, it leaves a space in our life. So, a huge space is opened when we lose something or someone. And that could be, what we talked about in the previous ones around people saying that they quit smoking or drinking. I've been very open with my journey about quitting smoking and the space that it left. First of all, the space that it was taking in my life was huge. It was taking up all day, every day to some level. And then now that space being open allowed love, allowed creativity, allowed structure. The structure was what I struggled with, It allowed so much. Like, I mean, I wouldn't be able to be with my husband, Thankfully, I had quit smoking like a year before I met him, but he's in the military, you know. He can't be smoking, So like I didn't know at the time that that created an opening for someone to not only come in and fill my day, all the time now, but also that that's something that wouldn't have been compatible with my person. So I couldn't see at the time. So sometimes when we're getting rid of things or losing things or letting things go or things have left, we can't even see the bigger picture of why that thing is done in our lives. Mhm. At 25, losing your fiance showed you how to heal, how to immediately release that raw emotion. Oh, Leanne, I'm sorry about that. And it's so beautiful too. And to really see the like shedding. True that even goodbyes can strengthen our capacity to love. Ugh, it really does. Right? I mean, I see all the time through other people's loss. When I see other people's loss, it makes me more grateful for, you know, the love that's in my life and letting go of kind of things that are dumb, right? Because when we have people in our life, it's very easy to take for granted that they're there. And then, maybe we've lost them or other people lose someone. And then you're also like, what? That doesn't even matter, you know? And I even think back to like, past relationships, like, you know, and you think about like when you go through a breakup with somebody, you're like, all the things that I worried about were not that important. Those things that I was thinking about in the day to day was not that important. And, either by losing someone through, losing their life or something, but also losing people just in losing a friend breakup, a relationship breakup that like kind of worrying about the wrong things. We see that in the moment. Sometimes we're not seeing the right things. You shed the skin that your family wove for you and kept you contained for 38 years. Talk about freeing transformation. Yes. Yes. You said Epstein dead? Is it dead? Was 6 years, 6 months, and 6 days ago. Hell yeah. Um, that's why we got this red background. Okay. Your partner has shown you so much love this year in your relationship, and it's truly evolved to where we're just saying it feels like another lifetime lately. Oh, that's beautiful. You're integrating your grief. Your mind knows, but emotions are still catching up. Mm. What's the best way you can do that? Okay, so embodiment, right? Embodiment is kind of the big topic. What I'm doing in the Substack right now is embodiment, right? This is the now is enough, right? Because when we're in the past or the future, we're not living in the now. When we're reframing our emotions or thinking our way out of them, that's not living in the now. So, again, I think things that bring you into the body are very helpful. So, like in spiritual practice, it could be somatic exercise, it can be EFT tapping, it can be shaking, like shaking it off, it can be dancing, walking in the park. Something that a lot of people's higher self says under hypnosis is the best way to get emotions moved through the body is to go near a body of water and to walk along a body of water or to be able to go inside a body of water. If you don't have a body of water or it's cold where you are, a shower, a bath, and to consciously allow, because water is emotion, right? The element of water represents emotions, again, motion. And so walking near water and breathing also, I mean, breath work with Sandy on YouTube is like the best. Anyone like wanting to move energy through the body, I really highly suggest Jennifer Partridge on she's an EFT tapping coach. Of course, like I said, I do a hypnosis that involves tapping. Um, but if you just need like go to Jennifer Partridge's YouTube. Her videos are very long, but if you're watching this, you could do a long video and it does the tapping through the body and helps you to acknowledge it. And one of the things that I really like about her style of tapping, which is what I implemented into my hypnosis, was choice, right? So, one of the things that I like that she says when you're tapping through the body is, I can dwell on this as long as I want to. I can stay brewing on this as long as I want to. I can never let this go if I don't want to. And that's like an important thing when you're working through moving an emotion is acknowledging I'm allowed to stay here. I'm allowed to stay angry. I'm allowed to stay hurt. I'm allowed to stay upset. I'm allowed to dwell. I'm allowed to brew. I'm allowed to not get over it. And then as you're tapping that in the body, you're acknowledging that it is your right to feel it. And then in the next round of tapping, you say, but part of me does want to let this go. Part of me doesn't like feeling this way. Part of me would like to move on. Part of me would like to heal. I'm ready to heal. So it's like you work through, because a lot of times that's one of the things with healing is we want to like clear it, transmute it, integrate it, get it gone. But the reality is that we also have to acknowledge that it's our right to not move on. And it's our choice to dwell as long as we want to dwell. And that also empowers us because then you're empowered. Like, I can dwell, I can stay pissed, I can stay hurt, I can stay upset, or I can move on because part of me wants to move on. And we allow ourselves to go through that process. And that's what I think is really powerful. I really like on Jennifer Partridge's style of tapping. You learn the hard way through life in EMDR that sometimes you got to go further into the dark. Oh, yeah, to eventually let it go. Right. No, and that's the thing too. You know, this is, more to the topic of grief, you know, because grief is, your mind knowing one thing and then like getting reality hitting you at times. Okay. So let's honor ours and everybody here, everybody who shared, everybody who's maybe watching later. Let's honor everybody's snake shedding energy in the year of the snake, these hard lessons that we learned through love, through grief, through compassion. I mean, all of the stuff that was happening in the world that was causing people to have so much empathy to the point of toxic empathy. So having those people be able to transmute that into compassion, where compassion is passion, power that you're sending out, healing that you're sending out, empowerment that you're sending out. Whereas empathy is drinking people's pain and taking on embodying people's pain. Empathy is a beautiful quality, but it can become poisonous to your system and your nervous system very quickly. So this is where when you find yourself as empaths who are definitely listening, because so many people are empaths, switching it to compassion. That's that transmutation. That's the alchemy of being able, oh, I feel this person's pain. Actually, let me shift this towards love, towards compassion that empowers me, that uplifts me, and sends that uplifting energy out. Okay, so now let's move on up to the throat chakra, which is your truth, which is your expression, which is your voice, which could be singing, which could be, I mean, it could be overactive like me. One of the things that I learned this year with my throat chakra is to try to shut up a little bit because I married an introvert who can't listen to me talk all day as much as I would love for him to. And he does his best. You are a messenger. Thank you. Right, and that's the thing too, is that knowing the balance between sharing my message and then knowing the balance between in my personal life, um, not talking my husband's ears off of his head. And finding that balance, whereas knowing that I am a messenger and that, my voice does need to be heard, and I do need to share, and I do need to express, and I do need to share truth, but knowing the place and time and way to do that. Because we're always evolving. So, what did you guys learn this year? Was there anything that you silenced yourself with? Was there anything that you finally spoke up about? Was there any singing? Was there any expression? Was there any um, things that you were able to do with your throat, with your voice? You learned and embodied the understanding that forgiveness of betrayal brings the most freedom. And oof, Christy, you're killing it. Yes. And more, better, deeper love for all things. Yes, that's something that I deal with for sure. Even though we've moved on to the throat, but that for the heart. Betrayal is one of my deepest wounds. So I find myself constantly, like, even though, like, say now I'm out here on the spiral, on these outer limits where it's not a direct betrayal, but then still I can perceive something as a betrayal and be energetically reactivated, and my nervous system can be reactivated as if it was a betrayal. even though there wasn't, so it's like further away from the wound, but now it's in this other light. And exactly what you're saying, Christy, is that um, it really brings freedom. It does bring freedom. And that's really an interesting one. Ooh, lots of screaming in the woods. Good for you. I need to go scream in the woods. You silenced yourself consciously and learned quickly it was the wrong choice. Warming the throat back up. Beautiful. Beautiful. You also got a solo in your choir, which prompted your parents to visit for the first time since moving. Oh my God, good for you. Yes, share your voice. You wish you were more social. You feel so socially awkward for some reason, but people are intrigued by you. Oh, which you're starting to notice. Yes, put yourself out there. Put yourself out there. Maybe you try the TikTok trend of like rejection therapy, where you start doing things that are like purposely weird so that you can get over the feeling of like rejection and social awkwardness. Or, you know, you probably just put yourself out there a little bit more and realize that people really like you. And I think a lot of times too, people who are experience social anxiety, I think that they don't realize that they kind of already have friends and community around them, and that it's more so a story that they're telling themselves that the community's not there. But there is people around, and maybe sometimes it's hard for those people to kind of get through and communicate or be around or spend more time, and that they want to, and that they're interested in you, and that they're intrigued, So I think that that sometimes is a story. So maybe it's around releasing that story. Because a lot of times people that are socially awkward, I mean, everybody's socially awkward. I do socially awkward stuff all the time. And I just like bulldoze through. You became okay with speaking on camera and recording yourself. Yes. And imagine how that's going to help you. You just never know what to say, or you're scared to say the wrong thing. Oh, well, you're not going to, even if you say the wrong thing, you can't. I think it's an Abraham Hicks quote, but my husband always says it is you can't get it right and you can't get it wrong. So that's the bright side, right? You might say the wrong thing, but you can't say the right thing anyway. You can't get it right and you can't get it wrong. There's no winning or losing of a situation. So you might as well experience it. You just experience it. And then also too, you know, you might never bump into those people again, or you do. And maybe one day you guys laugh about it. Let's see. Finally making more friends with who you can talk about anything and also play karaoke music and sing in your room alone and you feel like a kid again. Beautiful. Sometimes you got to do things when you're scared, when you realize it wasn't nearly as bad as you thought. Oh my God, all the time. All the time. Because you know what? That's the paradox of life, right? If you want to be brave, you have to do scary shit. The only way someone gets courageous is by doing scary shit. You know? So that's the paradox. In order to be fearless, you must do some things that provoke fear. And then you realize that they're not that scary anymore. You said my hubby's brilliant. You love that saying. He is. He's so humble, but he is very brilliant. I learned to use my voice and told my partner we need a break, and that scared him. And now he's trying so hard, and it has confused you, but you know it was good without him, and now you feel like you silenced. Interesting. Okay, so this seems like an interesting situation that you have going on that you're navigating now. So what's interesting is with this fire horse energy coming in, you know, um in different ways, right? Different cultures have different meanings with the horse, but the freedom, the independence, the adventure. So that doesn't mean necessarily single. You can have freedom and independence and adventure in a relationship as an autonomous person. And that's sometimes one of the things that we have to navigate in relationships, right? Is like having your freedom and your autonomy and your independence while partnered. There's so many lessons to learn, you know, in the QHHT sessions, people's higher self, when I ask what is the purpose of this person's relationship, romantic relationship, oh my God, 9 out of 10 times their higher self says to teach each other patience. 9 out of 10 times people are teaching each other patience. And I'm like, wow, all different types of relationships. All different types, people that are in all different relationship dynamics. maybe like ones that I would see as good or ones that I would see as a little bit concerning. A lot of times it's the same thing that they're teaching each other is well, they're teaching each other usually love. They're teaching each other patience. And then also too, a lot of times they're teaching kind of undoing the family stuff. So those are do you still do private QHHT? I do. I do. So you can there's links in my um stuff here. It's a Calendly link that you can book it. I have really limited availability in March. I have almost no openings left because I'm going to be traveling also. But I do have stuff in April. Let's see. You learned that people really value and appreciate what you have to say with trauma healing, and your capacity and abilities are way more expert level than I thought about myself, not devaluing myself anymore. So, what's interesting is that's another thing that a lot of people's higher self says. So many people's higher self tells them that you are a lot more advanced than you think you are. A lot of people are the higher self is like, you need to share your voice because even if someone has said this already, coming from you is going to come in a unique way. It's gonna hit differently. It's gonna resonate with a certain person. So you don't need to a lot of times people will say like, "Oh, well, why would someone listen to me?" Or there's someone better out there that knows better than I do, or there's someone more experienced out there, or someone with more certifications or more training out there. And so why would I say this? And so many people's higher self is like, because it's you. Coming from you is what matters. It hits differently from you. And there's people who are waiting and need it from you. And also, I always tell people, like, I've met all of these like people in the spiritual spaces, right? Like, I'm going to Conscious Life Expo, hopefully to see some of you guys there. Um, I'm leaving in 2 days and I'll be there. So one of the next Tuesday Night Live will be a podcast episode. And it'll be with someone else from Monroe Institute. We're going to be doing another deep dive into the Monroe Gateway stuff. And so that's going to be next week's Tuesday Night Live because I'm going to be at Conscious Life Expo. But I've met all of these people, you guys. I've met so many people. And let me tell you, most of you guys here sharing, watching, maybe not sharing, maybe just listening, people that I have done private hypnosis sessions with, done coaching with, people that I know through the Substack, people that DM me, you guys know more or equal to these people that are here doing this professionally. They're just more confident than you. That's the only difference. People are like, "Oh, I don't know about they're doubting their intuition." I say, "Your intuition is just as good as a professional channeler." You know what the difference between them and you is? They're fucking confident and you're not. You they're not better than you. They're not more connected than you. They don't have more answers than you. I meet these people. I know who these people are. I've communicated with them. They are not better than you. They are not more gifted than you. They are just more confident. That's the difference. You're filled with doubt and they got dumb confidence, okay? They're more confident than they should be. They don't even second guess the shit that comes through their head might be wrong. They don't even second guess that they might be overthinking something and it might just be something else. And no, they're straight up telling you, this is so and so of the this and the that council. And the council is here. And this is the definitive truth message. They are stupid confident. That is the only difference between you and them. There is no, don't worry. Like, you are good and you have a nice discernment that would actually be a nice voice in this community. So share your voice, okay? If you are doing, psychic work, do it. Do it. You got the ability. And stop outsourcing your stuff to people who don't even have discernment about what comes through their head. And not saying that everybody is that way. I'm not diminishing the fact that people could be gifted as well. I'm saying you are just as gifted. I meet people every day that are doing it professionally, and I meet people every day who do it in private, and the wisdom is just as good. You said you thought I was 33. I'm older than that, hun. All right. I'm older than that. Okay, let's move up to the third eye. So, this is your insight, this is your awareness. Speaking of your psychic gifts, speaking of your intuition, speaking of your gift of sight, your gift of vision, your gift of knowingness, of receiving information and knowledge from the universe. Also, there could be illusion connected to the third eye, right? So, was there an illusion that was shattered this year? Was there something, some truth that you saw? Was there some psychic insight that you got? Was there some awareness that you got from your higher self or a meditation or an insight? Was there something that you developed this year? Did your meditation practice get better? Did you feel more confident? Yes, lifting each other up. Yes, Jules. So, like, was there something as we move this Kundalini snake energy up into the third eye? Maybe you outgrew a belief system. With all this Epstein stuff coming up, maybe you've been really like grinding your gears on, the pedos of the world. And now you're like, you know what? I'm good. I'm ready to be happy and not focus all my time and energy on that. Maybe you outgrew something, like a belief system. Maybe someone is different than you expected. Maybe your perception of something changed. Maybe your perception of the world. You said, I found you this year and it helped me so much. You validate a lot of the things I believe in. Aw, thanks. I appreciate you. It was nice jumping into the live. Thanks. You guys. Mhm. Let's see. You're going to Monroe Institute for Gateway. Oh my God, you're going to have the best time ever. You're gonna have the best time ever. Um, so my advice for you of going into Gateway and also, a little something that I'm gonna be talking about on the podcast this week is that for people who aren't able to go in person, they're gonna be doing an online self-guided program. So I'm gonna redo it online because I had so much fun doing it. So I'm gonna redo it. But from home, and I'm gonna do it, me and my husband will do it together and get to do it. And what's cool about doing it self-guided at home, of course, going to the institute is like absolutely incredible and such a blessing. And the fact that you actually got a spot because I think they're booked out until 2027 is incredible. But if you do it at home, if you do it in person, the biggest thing I would say is don't doubt yourself. Just accept what's coming through. Don't doubt it. Don't get into skepticism. What I always tell people, even when I put them under hypnosis, is just receive. It's not your time to evaluate. It's not your time to overthink. It's not your time to be skeptical. Just extract the information, journal, and then you can always integrate that or take it or leave it later. Don't try to take it or leave it in the moment. Just receive it in the moment and have fun with it and be like, okay, this could be a game. This could be fun. This could be imagination. This could be not real. Just allow yourself to have the experience and then take the information and later on, put on your skeptical stuff, put on your doubt, put on your discernment. Do that after. In the moment, whether you go under hypnosis in QHHT with me or with someone else, whether you do it through Monroe Gateway, whether you do it through your own psychic abilities, whether through your own meditations, whether through your own intuition work, take it in the moment, receive it, and then let doubt be something later. Don't let the doubt come in at that moment. If doubt starts to come in, think, you know what? I'm just having fun. Like someone said earlier that they joined an improv class. Think yes and think the improv way. Someone throws a suggestion out, you think yes and okay. So you receive and what's next? And that's a good way to do those types of experiences to get the most that you can out of them. You're gonna do the QHHT program. Oh my god, cool. You're gonna get certified. Beautiful. You stopped believing in religion and aliens and everything and started believing in nature and found truth in nature and meditation saved you. Ooh, beautiful. I mean, nature is God. My friend says that. She always says, her religion is nature. So I love that. You just realized that you thought you deserved to suffer, and one day it clicked that you chose comfort and to give yourself care, the part that you play in that. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so yes, right? Talking about the third eye, talking about doubt, talking about your intuition, talking about receiving. You just realized your psychic energy is so much more powerful than you thought it was. Oh, I'm glad, Rebecca. I'm glad because I saw it. I saw it in your hypnosis session. You can receive. You can truly receive information. That's the biggest thing. Like when I get to see people under hypnosis, most people who allow themselves to just receive the information and allow themselves to say it, I'm like, "Oh, you got this." Like, you could literally get any information that you want anytime with no help, never need me again. You can do it. Wow. Oh, realizing how strong and correct your intuition is has been more confidence in listening for the first time. Yes, yes. The more confidence, yes, just allowing and accepting, the more confidence that you have in your intuition, the more clear that the messages become. Do I have tuning forks? No, I don't. Um, why do you want to send me some? Okay. Um, let's see. Yes, seeing your power and ability in the plant medicines and now in facilitation of others starting their journey and relationships with the medicine themselves. Yes, yes. Okay. So let's honor, let's shed, let's release those old stories, let's release those old perceptions, honor this knowledge of the year of the snake, and let's move on up to the crown. And so the crown can mean a lot of things, right? It can mean higher connection. It can mean it's also kind of your portal to the higher self and things like that. But it can also be deeper meaning, right? It can be the deeper meaning of life, something that is beyond this, as you know, Robert Monroe would say, beyond this physical reality, that I am more than my physical reality. The crown chakra connects us beyond the physical, beyond the human life, beyond the identity. And also, there's a level of surrender that happens, you know, with the crown chakra, right? Because I mean, it's knowing that there's so much more than us and so much more above us. So maybe where did you realize that you had some higher connection? Or maybe you had some experience that was beyond your physical body, or maybe there was some deeper trust or awareness that you got this past year in the year of the snake. Now, again, this could have been, you know, we've talked about loss and grief because not everything, you know, like we talked about with this growth card, growth often comes from the pain or breaking through the seed, breaking through the shell of the egg, breaking through. So oftentimes, understanding that we have a connection to something more than us can sometimes be the passing of a loved one. And then we feel greater connection. Or, like Ash said, through plant medicine, where there's like a really heavy purging, and then you can truly feel the connectedness and the connection beyond you. You know, for me, before the ayahuasca, I understood oneness as a concept. As a concept, I knew oneness. It wasn't until the ayahuasca that I felt trust in the universe and felt God and felt oneness in the body. And I forget all the time. I forget always. I forget that feeling. Um, of oneness and fall back into separation. So you can also, you know, what was something in the crown chakra that you learned through separation, through remembering separation? Maybe that could have been an issue with someone that you remembered that you're separate for this time on earth and had an issue and forgot that you're one or forgot that you're connected, or maybe, you know, a lesson that you learned by kind of forgetting that you have a spirit team or feeling lost or feeling like unsupported and then having to find that trust again or still working to find that trust. Because you know, this fire horse, that's the push. That's the courage. That's the courage to believe again. So there's a lot of ways that we can remember connection. And sometimes it's through the feeling of separation that we remember connection. And sometimes we need to remember that we have a spirit team. Maybe there was some type of mystical event that happened, or some type of meditation event that happened, or some type of thing or session that you did that reminded you of this greater connection. You want to pull a Thoth card. I don't have that deck in front of me, but I will pull a card from another deck because we're coming to the end of our journey. Okay, so I'm going to pull one from the journey deck. So now that we're closing out this year of the snake, but let me know in the comments, share what is coming up for you with this final. We went up the snake, up the whole body, and through all of these different experiences of the year. And then we're going to have a final message for us. You needed to exclusively you used to exclusively be in your top two chakras as an escape mechanism, and now you're embodied. Beautiful, right? Connection and separation within the self, not only from the greater power of the universe, but separation within the self. What a beautiful, beautiful point. Fun fact, your crown is the only open chakra in your human design. Ooh, as a quad split. Wow, cool, Ash. You get all your far from the universe and betterment of all downloads through your crown. Wow. Hello, welcome. Okay. As I get to the end of the snake, I will emerge as my true self, finally whole. Yes, we're seeing this snake energy, beautiful knowledge, wisdom, transmutation, shedding of the skin, shedding of the old stories, shedding of the old ways. And we're going to bring it up into the crown. But, oh, okay. So this is the energy of this snake journey that we just went through. What was the true wisdom, the true knowledge? And I think we got this card before, actually. We might have got this card last week, which is the crisis card. Crisis card. And so the crisis card represents the profound initiation and reckoning that punctuates our paths, the moments of profound disillusionment, upheaval, or coming utterly undone that shatter our existing paradigms and challenge us to radically reinvent ourselves. When this card appears, we are plunged into the chasm of the unknown, where all false masks and inauthentic personas disintegrate, leaving us stripped bare before the truth of our souls. The image of the hanging hero evokes a visceral sense of being suspended in the void state, unmoored from the that all that was once provided safety and certainty. In this crisis point, we may feel as if if the very ground has shaken beneath our feet and all our formulas for navigating life have abruptly failed us. Circumstances can feel utterly untenable, defeat and hopelessness encroaching as we dangle over the abyss. And yet, within this symbolic free fall that we see in the image of this card, is contained the seed of our greatest liberation. The crisis serves as an intervention, a complete system reboot where we are stripped of all that is extraneous so that we might realign with our core essence and life's purpose. These liminal thresholds, through agonizing, offer us the chance to let go and jump into the great mystery and be perpetually rebirthed by the journey itself. The crisis strips us down to our core truths and essential callings. It forces a choice. Will we surrender to the challenge or summon the courage and wisdom to stay on our path? The crisis reveals our spiritual strength and crystallizes decisions that can either derail us or transform us into our most resilient, liberated selves. And that brings us to the year of the fire horse. So, now that we've moved up the body and we've released all of these energies and old stories and really acknowledged the good, the bad, and the ugly of the year and how this was all alchemizing a way for us to heal, to learn, to become whole, to become new again. I want you guys, now you can do this as a visualization. I know not everybody's able to visualize, but everybody has memories. So if you are not able to visualize or whatever comes up, think of a memory, and we're going to think of the horse. And I'm actually using this exercise, which was inspired by Cara Elizabeth, who created this deck. I had a Zoom call with beautiful, amazing women today, and Cara puts this group together, and she guided us through an exercise with connecting with the energy of the horse. And so this is a little bit inspired by hers. And so, one of the things that was beautiful that I haven't heard people talk about that she was talking about with the horse, and as you know, she uses animal medicine in her practice. So, she was bringing up how one of the greatest things in human evolution has been the horse because of war, right? The way that horses have served humanity in war. Like now we have drones and now we have these things. But for thousands of years of human history, it was the horse that protected us, that sacrificed itself for us with travel, right? All of this travel that we've done, breaking through to new territory, breaking through to new land, moving through thresholds, moving through harsh terrains. This has been the horse's service with farming, food, with agriculture, with so much. The way that the horse has served humanity with so much strength, with so much beauty. And so I want you to visualize honoring the horse and, think of either a memory of a horse or visualize a horse. And it can be however it looks to you. And just really think like today when I did this exercise with Cara, it was making me think about last year. I had gone horseback riding with a friend, and, she's like a horse master. And before we got on the horse, she's like, "Well, the horse has to basically trust you, and you need to earn the horse's trust." So she told me to go get a brush and brush the horse. And so like this like brushing this horse and, you know, grooming this horse and scratching it and really just like getting to appreciate its strength and its beauty, and then knowing that, like, I'm gonna ride this horse, but this horse is also allowing me. This horse is also, in its strength, going to carry me and choosing me. And one of the women in this call today said that a horse's heart is so large and that it emanates so much further than the human heart magnetic field. So, like, just the power of a horse and the fearlessness of a horse. And so just like really take a moment to honor the beauty of this creature and, in its stillness, right? Like think about a horse's eyes. Like if you've ever looked into a horse's eyes, it feels like you're looking into this like an eye of God, like it's so like beautiful and slightly intimidating and warm, but also like a void, like looking into a horse's eyes is truly w- a magical experience. And just getting to, you said you grew up riding horses, you're so ready for this horse year and like really understanding the beauty of a horse. Yes, majestic. Exactly. So, like, just let me know in the comments, like, you've been historically terrified of horses. Well, this is for you to overcome your fear this year, to see that it's independence, that it's adventure, that it's freedom, that it's honor, that it's nobility, that it's loyalty, that it's strength, that they're sacred, There's so many things like humanity would not have been able to survive this long without horses. Now, horses now are not as relied on in the Western world as they once were, but their eyes specifically freaked you out, giant globes. Well, it's very depth. Like the depth is crazy of a horse. You had a second nature connection with horses when you were little. You love being near them. You need to take your family horseback riding when it gets warm. Yes. Beautiful. Horses can outrun tornadoes. Wow. I mean, look at that. Okay. So now honoring the horse. I want you guys to imagine that you're now going to ride this horse. Like I said, this can just be a fun exercise. It can be a memory if you have ridden a horse before, if you're not a great visualizer. It can also be an image that you've seen, a memory of a horse, someone else riding a horse, and imagining yourself in that position. So it's okay if you can't visualize. Don't worry. We're overcoming doubt. We're overcoming these old stories. There's so many different ways to experience things within your mind. A symbol of endurance and efficiency. Yes. They're amazing for therapy and special needs children. They are. So I want you to imagine that now you're going to ride this horse. Horses sense your mood and join you in the mood. Well, when I got to ride that horse last year, it was very fun because she gave me the sassy horse, and the horse was so sweet to me. Like, this horse was so sweet to me, but she was a dick to the other horses. Like, she would stop and look back and get super mad at the other horse for getting too close to her, but she was super cool with me, and she was kinda like, "Yeah, like, we're both sassy, we got the same vibe." She's like, "But that guy? No." And it was so funny that, one of the other people that was on one of the other horses, she was scared, and her horse kept kind of doing things to, like, scare her even more. So, I was like, "Oh my gosh." You saw a TikTok of a horse running on a beach, and it's so majestic. Horses are dangerous and unpredictable. You can't be a hostile person around horses, they'll buck. Well, also, I had a job on that movie Arthur. Do you remember? Probably not. Russell Brand did the remake of Arthur, and I was a production assistant on that movie, and there's a scene with a horse, and in a movie, if you have a horse, you need to have an identical horse to fill in certain scenes, and this then also that horse has to be in the eye line of the horse. So the main horse that's on screen needs to have another horse in its eye line so that it feels safe. And so I don't know why. I don't know why the horse trainers didn't have other horse trainers with them, and I maybe looked like the person who knows how to take care of a horse, which I don't. I'm a city person who is not very nature inclined and doesn't know a lot about animals or nature. And especially at that time, I was like 21 years old, and they left me with the horse. And this horse was a superstar. He had been in like all of these movies. So he was very cocky. And they're like, don't let the horse eat grass because then he'll get um basically foam in his mouth, and then he can't be then they have to take off the bit and clean it, and it takes a whole while to clean the grass foam out of his mouth. This horse, they're like, "Just pull on his thing, if he tries to eat the grass." I tried to pull on that horse's thing, and that horse looked at me like, "Girl, do you know who I am? I'm the Michael Jackson of horses. I'm the Brad Pitt of horses. You think you're gonna tell me what I can eat?" And this horse pulled me, dragged me, terrorized me, and he it was it was so funny, like, the horse took his, hoof and scraped it against my foot, like, acted like he was gonna crush my foot and scraped, and I was like, I kept thinking he broke my toe, and he just kept, like, doing it in a way that he knew that he wasn't gonna, like, hurt me and break my toe, but then kept doing it to be in control. And then they would switch out with the other horse, the stand-in horse, and the stand-in horse was such a, like, easy horse because it was just a young horse, it wasn't a celebrity horse. Um, so yeah, no, so, like, me thinking about, like, this kind of different experiences with horses that I've had. And so, think about now riding what a gentleman, right? Think about riding the horse now into the new year. Think about the path that you wanna take, like, what is the number one asserting dominance, right? And horses do assert dominance, so, like, this is your year, and also, outside of this, right? We have a new moon. This is the perfect time for planting a seed. I know people said like, "Oh, you shouldn't manifest on the eclipse." I manifest on the eclipse. We're brave enough, okay? It ain't all love and light here. We just went through this whole snake process of half of the lessons that we learn sometimes come from a hard lesson. So you can plant that seed of what you want this year because we're claiming this year. We're claiming the year of the horse. And on top of it, we have this conjunction that's happening on February 20th, where Neptune and Saturn are both going to be at 0 degree of Aries. So we have this Aries energy right now that is so like fiery, powerful, action, drive. Like we are in this perfect place to claim the year that we've been trying to do, right? I know myself these last like 2 years, I've been like, "Oh, I'm trying to get this done. I'm trying to check all these things off my to-do list." And then it would kind of fizzle out, or I would lose excitement on it, or I would lose my energy or my motivation on it, or something else would come up and derail it, or my creative project wouldn't fully come to fruition, or I wouldn't be able to fully step into the thing that I was trying to do. Well, here it is. Like, this is it. It is the year of the fire horse. This is freedom. This is independence. This is passion. This is courage. This is driving forward. This is force. This is mobility. This is nobility. This is doing it. We're breaking through. This is that momentum, that explosive energy. This is that chariot, the threshold breaking. So take a moment. Think about where you wanna ride this horse to. Think about see in the distance, all the way down the distance, what is your end goal? That end goal might happen this year, that end goal might be so big, it could be 5 years. But just know, where is this path leading to? That this seed is breaking, you're willing to learn. Don't worry, you don't have to learn all your lessons the hard way. This isn't a punishing place. This is just a place of experience. This is not a world that is punishing. This is just an experience, and we'll have great experiences. We'll have some more difficult experiences, but we know where we're going. We know what the goal is. And I want you to see yourself, get on that horse, and start riding it there. And throughout the year, come back to this image. Come back to this image of you're going to feel that momentum right now. You're getting on that horse, right? You're not going to start running on the horse 2 seconds of getting on it, like, unless you're like, a professional horse rider, you know? But like, if you're going to get on a horse, you're going to get your groundings. You're going to get your connection with the horse. You're going to get, yeah, unless you're Zorro. Exactly. They used to have the horse from that movie at the Gentle Barn in LA. He recently passed. He was 35 years old. But that horse was at the Gentle Barn in outside of LA in Santa Ana. And he was so cute. But he lived a very long life. He retired after that movie, Zorro. And that was a very difficult movie. So he was kind of a little bit traumatized. But um these majestic beings, the way that they've been able to take humanity anywhere, everywhere, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the horse. So, where is this horse taking you? Yes. A symbol of endurance, yes. Your goal is to teach people going through their awakening. You never felt like a leader or teacher before. Ooh, but it's time. Now you've got this beautiful power horse under you. You want it to be smooth glide this year, the perfect gallop, moving quickly with ease and grace. Beautiful. And that's the thing too. You can have this be a nice, fun trot. You can have this be racing forward. You can have this be leaping, whatever energy that you want to ride this horse with. And it can happen at different stages. You don't need to stay all at one pace throughout the year. You're going to, especially as we get into Aries season. Right now, we're still in Aquarius, right? When we get into Aries season in April, it's going to be fire. Fire. So enjoy it. You're going to ride it till you can't no more. Exactly. So I want to share a couple things. So Instead of pulling cards, I wanted to share I have a couple of animal decks. So this is the the Pocket Animal Spirit deck by Kim Kranz. Um, and I want to read to you the horse card because I actually have 3 decks with horse cards. The horse card. Oh, sorry for TikTok. I put the camera in a different place today so they don't all see at the same angle. Okay. So the horse, it's momentum, freedom, expansive energy, and force. The horse represents the most masterful form of earth energy within the deck. It provides us with momentum so reliable, so supportive that you can ride on its back toward any goal, no matter how difficult the terrain. A horse personality is fully awakened, fully alive, and cannot be defeated. The horse's freedom becomes available to us when we hone and collect our energy through daily practice. This is physical stamina, such as exercise, mental focus, such as meditation. These are the secret weapons behind the horse's legacy. When it's in balance, it can achieve anything and never give up. When it's out of balance, it can run away and feel weak. To bring into balance, strength training. So this is the thing. This is also this kind of Aries, for me, Aries is my 6th house. So, especially for me, I need to get my daily practice together. I need to get my daily habits together because all of this stuff is happening in that. But for everybody, right? The horse needs training. The horse needs practice. You can tame a horse, you can tame a wild horse for sure. Let's read the horse energy from the Animal Apothecary deck by Cara Elizabeth. Tame and attain. Tame and attain. And then that's for TikTok there. When a horse is tamed for riding, she endures countless weeks of intense training. If the trainer is patient, perseverant, and trustworthy, the horse eventually submits. The horse is controlled through the horse bit that rests in her mouth. When the rider pulls the connected reins, the horse will follow. The horse bit in this image represents directed power. Wild horse is freedom, stamina, unbridled passions, and primal urges. She symbolizes the untamed and powerful impulses within all of us. These impulses look like our intense outbursts, obsessive thinking, binging, recklessness, avoidance, and all wild expressions. All of these impulses hold immense power, but often this energy is directed very poorly. The human that tames and rides the horse represents our highest self directing our personal power. Your willpower will be tested, so you must strengthen it. Sacrifice is required. The horse's medicine asks you to start with small things to build your willpower muscle. Stop yourself from saying the hurtful thing about someone. Resist eating the entire bag of chips. Watch something uplifting instead of watching garbage TV. You may feel resentful of the restrictions at first, but it will lead to an expansion of extraordinary capabilities. With dedication, the ego will soften and align with your willpower. Once you have given adequate time to building your willpower, it will become a superior force. Horse's medicine requests you tame inner appetites to become the person you were meant to be. This is horsepower. And the last one that I will leave you guys with, where is it? Is the Nature Nurture deck, which also has a horse card. Now, in this card, it represents travel. A trip, a journey, sexual energy, and personal power. The horse can indicate a trip or some kind of travel to a place either close to you or in the distance. If you've been thinking about a change in scenery, this card is a yes. If you cannot take a trip physically, try taking a different approach in your daily routine or switching up your schedule a little bit. Life can provide you with all sorts of insights when we step out of our comfort zone. Personal power can be accessed when the horse shows up. Do not be afraid to embrace your strengths. If you are questioning how to show up for a relationship, then know that this card can indicate sexual chemistry and companionship. Just make sure to honor your own personal energy. The horse asks you to be willing to collaborate with this situation, letting it take you further than it could on your own. So, different messages, different wisdom of the horse, but all really the same thing, right? Is honing your power, allowing it to take you to the next step, but you need to do your work. You need to do your yes, wu wei, exactly, right? Doing the action and then allowing the action to take you. This the action and surrender, the action and surrender. So it's really a balance, those kind of three different wisdoms of the horse, which are all kind of saying something similar around daily habits and daily routines. So think about the goal that you're riding the horse towards. Aw, thank you. I said, thank you, JK Ultra, for making space. Yeah, I love that. Thanks so much. Um, Sagittarius energy, right? Right? Because the Sagittarian is like half horse, half man, right? That's us right now. Is this kind of human half of this horse energy and moving forward. So, with that, you guys, I think I'll ask a last question or two. So, because it's Mardi Gras and I live in Louisiana, what mask, right? Because people wear masks for Mardi Gras. What mask are you ready to take off this year? You can answer in the comments or just on your own. What mask are you ready to take off this year? And then, similar, you can answer this one as well together for the solar eclipse. What identity are you letting go of? Thank you for these reflections. Thank you. You don't have any masks left at this point. Beautiful. Thank you for blessing us with your wisdom today. Much love to you. Thank you. Hiding in the shadow mask. Oh, beautiful. Hiding in the mask that you're a weak person. Right. Take the mask off. We're strong. Hell yeah. So, identity that you're eclipsing, all of the masks you're taking off. I love it. Oh, thank you. Hiding in the mask of being afraid of success. Oh my God. You know what? Instead of being afraid of success, being like, how great can it be? How good can it be? Show me how good it could be. The identity of the unhealed, dysregulated, and overwhelmed. Yes. Releasing the nice mask. Fuck being nice. I'm kind, but not nice. Right. The mask of people pleasing. Yes. This is what we're shedding. And see, none of these things, the true self doesn't align with the fire horse. Those things are shedding. Those are the skins, that snake skin that is shedding, this Mardi Gras mask that is coming off, this solar eclipse, this identity that is eclipsing and changing once and for all. Being afraid of being seen, especially in success. Yes. So, I talked about this in my last video. I just want to remind you guys is that there's like a survival mechanism of the brain that it's like a reptilian brain, they call it, but it's also like a tribalism thing that a lot of times, as a part of survival, we don't want to exceed our community. We don't want to exceed our family. We don't want to exceed people around us. And that's because back in the day, that could lead to your life ending. That could lead to you being exiled. That can lead to death. But we're not in that anymore. Now we have other versions of it, right? The witch wound is another version of that. If you let people know your gifts, you might be killed, burned at the stake. And now we have this kind of tamed down version of it, which is like the cancel culture, right? If you say the wrong thing or say something insensitive or whatever, that then you'll be kind of, metaphorically burned at the stake of social media. These things, like you see, even what's happening now is that you're safer now. Now, okay, what if you get canceled? What happens? People crash out in your comments? Fuck them, block them. Who cares? Let them crash out. Take the engagement, you know? You'll get a different job. That like the worst that happens is never as bad as it used to be. Never as bad as the old evolution that you'd be exiled and die, and never as bad as like the witch trials. It'll never be that bad again because we've evolved a lot. So you're safer now than you ever were. And that is, a collective truth. But then really it's needed more than ever for you to fully be your true self and to share your truth, whether people like it or not, and to hold the space you want to hold. Being afraid of being judged or losing friends. Right. But you know what? Like, what's not for you, you can't hold on to anyway. So if people walk away, and actually, again, this comes up in people's hypnosis sessions all the time with the QHHT. A lot of people are afraid of sharing their spiritual beliefs because their family is religious and they're afraid of kind of being exiled from their family. And almost everybody's higher self on that topic says they're going to love you the same. First of all, they already know that you're this way. Also, they're going to love you the same because they genuinely love you and care about you. So there's nothing that's going to change. Your family, there's not going to be this horrible consequence that you're thinking of. And this comes up all the time that the higher self is like, there's not a horrible consequence. It's they understand the way that you are. Now, sometimes with people who maybe you could lose some people in your life, you could lose a friend, maybe you did stop talking to a family member, then maybe that relationship has already served its purpose. Taking off the mask of just going through the motions of life, ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Mm, the mask of old wiring, survival mode. Yes, the mask of not caring. Yes. It seems lonely, but it leaves space for new people to come in. You can't repel what is meant to stay. That's true, right? Like um, the old saying is like, right? Oh my God, I can't think of it. When you let a dog go, the dog is truly yours if it comes back. Oh my God, why can't I think of the saying? You let a dog go. I can't think of the saying. You guys know. Let a dog go, and if it comes back, it's your dog or something. I can't think of it. You know what I'm talking about. It's like the collective is matured enough to not need to the parent attachment to survive, releasing the need to adapt. Yes. And yeah, and it is hard in the moment, but there's always something else to fill the space that is coming in. And like I was talking about earlier, is that sometimes when something leaves, we don't even know what is being replaced or why that thing couldn't be there for that next thing to come in. If you love something, let it go and it returns. It's yours for life. Thank you, Dominique. Oh my God. Why was I saying let your dog go? I don't think it's a dog. You said you think it's a bird. I didn't know that. Now I'm thinking you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but that's not it. Yeah, right. It's the year of the horse, not the dog. Yeah, let the horse go and the horse will come back. These are my last days. I wish everyone a happy life and enjoy with your family. What, your last days of what? Brian, what are you talking about? What's going on? I was about to get off, but are you okay? What's going on? Your last days of what? Brian, answer us. Releasing releasing the old masks. Answer us. Where are you? You can't just come in the chat and the silence is killing us. Yes. Seriously, Brian. Now we're worried. You can't just come in the chat and say that and then leave. Let the dog roam and he will find its home. Okay. I like that one. Brian? I'm determined, and I've already devised a strategy to avoid causing anyone headache. Brian, please, let's talk. Let's talk. First of all, let's talk. Okay. So, the number one thing is time, right? So, the way that time changes things, that patience changes things. What's interesting is that I saw when I was walking in the park the other day, someone had wrote this piece of paper that said, "Hey stranger, I'm sorry that you feel that you need to leave the world in an abrupt way, but know that there's people in the world that are happy just that you're here, and just be patient." I don't want to be an experimental method, but yes, I'm decided and I think I'm relatively okay with it. Brian, please. The thing is, it's never the solution. It's never the solution to take your life because there's always people that care about you being here. At the end, it's just us. Nothing changes. Yeah, one bad chapter doesn't make a whole story. I agree. Right. Even us. Even us. Now there's a group of people here that are invested in you. And so, hold on. I'm going to pull up one of my favorite songs because I was reading this. Oh, I was listening to this song and then that's when I saw the thing in so it's by Tool. I want to read you these lyrics. Okay. So this song, I'm going to read you some of the lyrics. It says, "Is this a test?" Meaning Earth, right? What they're going through. "Is this a test? It has to be. Otherwise, I can't go on. Draining patience, draining vitality. This paranoid, paralyzed vampire act is getting old. But I'm still right here. I'm giving blood. I'm keeping faith. I'm still right here." And then this song is this person rationalizing about not being able to take the circumstances and feeling like, is this a test? If it's not a test, I can't keep going. And then it says, "I'm going to wait it out." And then he gets goes through this journey and is like, "If there were no rewards to reap and no loving embrace to see me through this tedious path I've chosen here, I certainly would have walked away by now." So it's someone that is grappling with, they know that this human experience is meant to be an experience, but at times it feels like a test and it feels too hard to do at times. But then this song is called The Patient, and it's this person reminding themselves to be patient because there's still so much in their life that they know is going to unfold. And it's like a higher version of themselves that are explaining, like, there's more that needs to be experienced. He said, "Life is just a blink of an eye. Everything passes, and I created a strategy so it wouldn't seem like it." Oh, Brian. Okay, listen. So, and I don't want to spiritually bypass the situation because it is a serious situation that you're talking about. But in the book Journey of Souls, they cross over to the other side, and there's souls who had taken their own life. And all of those people, when they got to the other side, are like jolted, like, "Oh my God, I can't believe what happened, what I just did." Because the soul, the higher self version of them, now sees the whole picture. And they're like jolted by the fact of like, "No, what did I do in that moment? I was just feeling lost. I was just feeling confused." And what people always say is that it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. All problems are temporary. All situations are temporary. All feelings are temporary. All circumstances are temporary. Even if you want them to be permanent, they're only temporary. So everything changes, everything passes, but that's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And all of these people, when they would connect with souls who had crossed over in that way, they still wanted to have the experience of this life. So they still chose to come back again and to have the same experience again, because that was the experience that the soul chose to have. So, and I mean, I don't mean to say that to spiritually bypass, but there's some greater reason. And who knows, if you stay longer, what you're going to learn about what you're truly meant to do in this life and what you're truly meant to experience and who you're truly going to meet and what you'll truly experience. Yeah, Kara says you have angels and spirits cheering you on past this. You said, I just joined when I heard Brian. My sister and my son have both died by suicide. No, it's literally the most painful thing, to see people go through, because it is like the worst thing for other people, because other people around also feel like, damn, why didn't they talk to me? Why didn't they tell me that they were going through this? And sometimes people forget to check in or get so wrapped up in their life to check in. But I promise you, if you reach out to the people in your life, they're going to be glad that you reached out to them, versus the alternative of then the rest of their life regretting not reaching out because they were busy with regular life stuff, which wasn't a representation of how they feel. You said you just joined because of Brian too. You need to hear this as well. Mhm. You lost your sister and your daughter and would do anything. Mhm. Ash says, "Brother Brian, take a breath and inhale. Openness to shifting your POV, your point of view, and to hearing different perspectives. Simply understand, it will help." Ash also said, "You can shift from one emotional perspective to a different one. We are all true and valid. It's about where do you want to sit?" Brian, what if you reframe this situation as a test as well? If you overcome, you will get huge growth and strength. This will pass too. Nothing lasts forever, but sometimes periods are longer. It's true. Let's see. Brian, are you still here? Please look up "Everything is Awful and I'm Not Okay" questions to ask before giving up. It's the name of a book. This feeling is something that will never go away. My father did the same. Mm. Oh, okay. So, Brian, you lost your father in the same way. I can promise you, your father's soul on the other side does not want you to do the same thing. There's so many people who connect with psychic mediums, people who connect in ways through hypnosis and things like that. The soul on the other side is like, "Damn, I should have just waited a little bit longer." Like you said, life is already a blink of an eye. There's already a million ways to die every single day. Walking out into the street, like there's a million ways. If you are still here, then you're meant to be here another day. And our time comes, everybody's time comes regardless. Yeah, you said your father doesn't want you to do the same karmic circle, right? It is a cycle, a generational cycle that you would be breaking by overcoming that as well. You said you never felt that way from this perspective, from the human perspective that may be in pain, that may be suffering, that may be exhausted. 20 people have joined in the process and we hear you, right? Heal your father's choice by choosing life. Honestly, the advice that is coming up in the chat is really beautiful, you guys. So many souls are suffering right now. It's a hard time, but it won't be this way forever. I agree. Someone saying your father wants you to live. Honestly, Brian, we've got people on 3 different platforms here. that are talking to you that, like, look at this, look at how magical life is. That you just happen to pop into a maybe random TikTok live. And now you have people on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram that are cheering you on to say, please, Brian, just be patient. Just wait a little bit, just a little bit, like a couple more years, just a couple more years. See what's going to unfold. Who knows what's going to unfold in your life that I know a very close friend of mine had survived a suicide attempt. And thank God that this person survived because I would have never forgiven myself if they didn't, because I didn't know that that's what they were going through. And I literally still, if I think about it, I get overwhelmed about like, how did I not know that someone was going through this? And thank God that they survived their attempt. But that person in that time has found the love of their life, is like living a completely different life than they were living at that time, that, like, I think about, they might have never got to experience that. They might have never got to experience their soulmate. They might have never got to experience all of the things that they've got to do and see and experience in that time. That there's a timeline maybe that that night turned out differently and they were successful. And then they, like, would have never experienced that. And then they would have just only experienced kind of these hard things, but not the beautiful things that came after that day. Mermaid Mama says, heal your father's choice. That's what he wants. He wants you to end the loop. I agree. I'm saying there's this here because no one in the family can know. So if I don't say anything, they'll take. Someone saying eclipse days are so hard. Eclipse season is so hard. Hold the line. I know a lot of people are dealing with this right now. So also, Brian, you speaking out right now and saying this, you don't even realize that you're probably saving someone else's life who's listening. Someone who is here in the chat that is not even going to comment. Someone that's just watching, that is going through the same thing, that has been struggling with their own mental health, that has been struggling with their own not wanting to live. Like, you don't even know that right now you're being a vessel for someone else, and you don't even, like, that's the thing, is the way that we help people, we don't even know. Like, there's times we consciously, like, yes, you might give a homeless person $1, but the ways that we really help people, we never truly see. Like, you don't even know that there's some stranger that is watching this somewhere else right now, that is hearing this and is like, "Whoa, okay, I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna give it a couple years. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna see. Maybe this other thing is gonna happen in my life. Maybe this thing will work out, or maybe this other thing is gonna happen. I'm now willing to wait longer." Oh, yeah, someone's saying, "When was the last time you ate or drank water?" Yes. Okay, you bring people together. You're a community builder, brother Brian. This world needs more of you. I agree. You really are. You brought everybody together. Mitchie says, "You won't lie. You've tried 4 times over your teenage years and literally, mm, clearly it didn't work. And clearly I'm meant to be here. If we're all here, we're here for a reason, right? There's so many ways to die. Millions of people die every day. And if you're here, it's definitely not your time. Brian, we're all connected and have soul contracts with you. And we're here for you as you are here for us, helping us all share and support one another." I agree. Patty says, "None of us are okay." And that's true too. That's true too. We've all had a hard week. We've all had hard times. And some people are just hiding it better, and some people are just being more inspired. I mean, more like, you know, they share it in a more inspirational way, but they are struggling too. Yeah. Kara said she's been struggling. Hmm. Hang in there. Dying is easy. Don't take that way. Brian is a connector. It's true. No, it's true. We all share how hard the human experience can be. That's true. Life is a gift, even if we cannot see that in the moments and seasons. You never know how quickly life can change for the better for you too. You can do this. You really can. No, it's true. Especially in these Aquarian times of building humanity and the planet. Please stay for us. Mm, okay, Brian. Where are you? You're inspired by recognizing that being happy is the resistance. It is the act of rebellion. That's true. Michelle says Joe Dispenza can help. If you want to look into Joe Dispenza's stuff, um, I have a video. I don't know how to find it for you right now, but we break down that topic of taking your own life through the way all of these different spiritual teachings talk about it. And they all say that, like, this soul on the other side is like, what the fuck did I just do? Like, because it's the feeling here, the either feeling of pain or suffering or even numbness. Sometimes it's not even pain or suffering anymore. Sometimes it's just numbness. And it's just like a nondescript, hard to explain feeling. But that is just like a temporary thing that you're going through right now. This life has already happened. That's why it's remote viewable. That's an interesting concept, too. Brian, just keep swimming. You were supposed to be here. I have never tried anything because my plan is for a one time thing and it didn't show any signs. Oh, Brian, please don't do this. Can you promise us all? Because now we've got 64 people here in YouTube. We've got 81 people here in TikTok. And then we have 9 people on Instagram. Can you promise us? We've got over 100 people here. Can you just promise us that you're going to be patient for a little bit and just give it time? Because really, like, of course, they'll say, call the hotline, call this. People will say, like, kind of the generic things, and not that those things are not helpful. But honestly, giving it a little bit of time, things are going to change. Things are going to change in a couple weeks, in a couple months, in a couple years. Everybody I know that has attempted taking their own life and has actually made that attempt, they look back and are like, "Oh my god, I almost missed this. I almost missed this. I almost didn't get to experience this because of that. Like, thank God it didn't work. Thank God something happened that day." I have another friend who she had taken, an attempt on it. This was a very long time ago. I hadn't known her yet. She had taken an attempt on her life. She survived, and she said, like, "Please, I can't do it. Send me someone." A week later, I ended up meeting her, and she was like, "You don't even know. I was literally asking for a friend, and then, like, you popped into my life." You never know, like, you can ask the universe, ask someone, no matter where they are, will listen to my story before they leave. If I would have ended up in the army, I wouldn't be living in a beautiful studio 6 years ago. You were in the hospital 6 years ago. As someone who has been through the fire, I promise it gets better. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it. Yeah, tell us your story. We are all sending the horses to come get you out of this pit. Hold your horses, brother Brian. Aw, Ash. Is he on YouTube? He's on TikTok. Where's Brian? Yeah, he's on TikTok. We all share how hard the human experience, right? I had the same thought this morning. The weight is hard to hold, but it will pass. Sorry your heart hurts so much, but you have the capacity to feel the opposite joy, love, bro, holding your hands. Oh, thank you, Sandra. Michelle, there are beautiful things about living. Find the things you find beautiful and focus on those things. Change your algorithm and change what you consume to match what you are inspiring. You said JK Ultra awakened me when my best friend committed. Oh, you attempted as well and you were put in a hospital and grateful you didn't because you're happy. Aw, I think most people in the West would need to visit worse countries. Hmm. I mean, the suffering Olympics is not helpful. No, but I do find, yeah, I mean, it is sometimes harder to be happy in Western culture. Spirit guides, loved ones, and angels, please surround Brian with your loving light. Archangel Michael, please surround him with your electric blue light. Shield him from harm. And so it is. Thank you, mermaid. Also at the bottom, don't forget that living out of spite and being a menace is the best way. Yeah, you're like, if you want to stay, also just stay to be a menace, stay to have fun. Anyone looking for hope should read When Things Fall Apart by Pima Chodron. The book is called When Things Fall Apart. I can see how he can think it won't get better if it's been so shitty thus far. Not a lot of hope. Right. But it absolutely can. Like I'm telling you, like it really, you have no idea what you're going to experience in your life. We don't know what you're going to experience in life, but you know, just from living, how can we find the right way to say it? Mm. Journey of Souls also explains it as well. Yeah, Journey of Souls explains it really well, which is, that soul wanted this experience of this life and then still chose again to have the same experience after. The greatest sacrifice you can do is be yourself. I agree. I was very confident in my choice and shortly after had a spiritual awakening and your trajectory changed. I mean, I know so many people like this. There's a lot of people who say that, like, getting to the end of, like, wanting to take their life was actually what completely changed everything in their life. So, Brian, we're not telling you not to feel this way. We're not telling you that you shouldn't feel this way. What we're saying is just be patient and allow your life to unfold and allow things to happen because there is something that's going to happen. And this is a rock bottom feeling, but you don't have to break through the bottom. We're all here supporting you. And also, you already have that in your family. So there might be this generational healing that you overcome in your family if your father had already taken his life in that way. You said you just want to rest. You know, exhaustion is a big reason why people take their life, just wanting to rest. But just please be patient. On the other side, you'll be there one day regardless. Life will end regardless. You might as well see what else it has to offer, and genuinely ask the universe. We're all asking for you, but it needs to be your free will, your consent. But we're all asking for you right now. Like, please, like Brian's higher self, Brian's spirit team, and everybody else listening, everybody else who is in the same situation. Show him the next step of his life and what is meant to happen for him and what he's truly here to experience. Because this is not just a place of suffering and punishment, like, this is a place of beauty and experience and love and joy. And it's a full spectrum of experience. And like, we're asking, and we need you to ask to be open to allowing that to come in because all of us are going to have good in this experience of life too. Brian, exhaustion is a sign that you are not living your passion, but beautiful things might be here. Right. And it could take a moment to like really live your passion if you're where you're at right now. But that doesn't mean that you don't get to. Like you can. Exhaustion is so real. Open yourself to listen to new messages, signs, and perspectives. Yes. Mm. Gigi says, speaking blessings over you, Brian. And find one or two things worth living for, even if it's for other people or places or things. Live for the ones. Live on through you for the people who aren't here. Things can look so different in the morning. Let the sun rise. That's so true. That's exactly what I plan to do, but surviving is impossible. It's not impossible because you're already doing it. So, what's happening, and I'm not trying to diminish what you're saying, is it feels impossible right now. My feeling is that is that of someone who is already empty. So look at this. We were talking about the void before. The void is the place where all creation comes from. Emptiness sounds scary and dark, but emptiness is the root to be filled. You have a beautiful opportunity to allow things to come into your life, and you don't have to do anything. You can just ask. Ask with your full heart. Ask God, the universe, ask your dad. Your dad passed in this way. Ask the spirit of your dad, like, please fill me up. I'm empty right now. Fill me up. And I promise you, your prayers will be answered. Prayers are answered, especially, he said it's 11:11 on the East Coast right now. We're wishing for you, Brian. Brian, you are beautiful. If you need someone to talk to, say, get my number from Jen. Yes, prayers are for you tonight. It is, Brian. We are here and we're connected. We send you love. I wanted to do the same, but months later, I met the love of my life and awakened, and now I see the world as different. Exactly. I'm telling you, I hear this all the time. It's actually very common, and a lot of people in that situation, they feel alone, but it goes through all different people at different times of their life. All different people, like people who seem so good and so happy struggle with wanting to take their life too. The card today was the crisis, and that's one step away, which means there's a few steps to come, right? Let's pull a card for Brian and for everybody who's feeling that same way or was feeling that same way. But Brian, you're allowed to feel this way. We're not saying that you shouldn't feel this way. What we're saying is please give it time. Call upon God, your father, your loved ones, your angels, anything, anyone out there. I mean, we are calling upon it for you, but you, everyone will continue their happy lives. But thank you very much. No, we all struggle. We have good days, we have bad days. Tammy says, don't give up on us. We're literally here rooting for you. Hang on. Tell him to call the hotline. We did talk about the hotline. I mean, of course, talk to the hotline. But I mean, what I hear from a lot of people is that, you know, I mean, would Brian be willing to call the hotline? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Someone saying we're trying to love you. Please receive it. Oh, you said don't think you ruined any of our Brian, please. Do you know how much purpose you don't wanna ruin anyone's night, I just wanted to tell my story. Brian, do you realize how much purpose it gives people to be a part of something like this, to help in any way, to be able to help in a real situation? Like, do you realize that we're all connected? Like someone said earlier, we all have a soul contract with you. We're all here tonight to have this experience of helping you tonight. And it's not ruining anybody's night. This is giving everybody the opportunity to be loving, to be caring, to allow themselves to show the part of themselves that they don't even always get to share. Yeah, people exactly, Jay. People find purpose in helping others. That is the number one purpose of life. Almost everybody's higher self under hypnosis talks about you discover something and then help other people with that. You said even if you give up, you will always care about making sure everyone else is happy. Well, Brian, we all care about you being happy tonight, and it's you don't have to get as far as happy. We just need you to make a little promise that you're going to give it a bit more time and you're going to be open to please receiving support. Please receive love. Please receive. I would bet every person here has felt like ending it. Of course, yes. And now we're so grateful. Yes. The amount of people that have said so far tonight that they have either made those attempts or wanted to and are so grateful that they're alive today. Someone said, Brian, you made me feel seen and understood tonight more than I have in weeks. We are sending you so much love and care. You're a beautiful, sacred being. And Brian, don't think that you're different than everybody else. This is what everybody goes through. Everybody goes through this. It's not crazy. It's not like everybody has moments in their life that they don't want to go on. And everybody is happy that they did. And then, the sad part is the tragedy is that not everybody does. Not everybody gets to experience that feeling after. Your feeling in grief is valid, hopelessness is valid. With time and process, you can change to a different emotion, even neutrality or or relief, right? Prayers and peace of mind. And a spark of hope for you, Brian. We are praying for that. We're all struggling, brother Brian. We love that you shared, Brian. Most of us have also had this SI before and validate and resonate with where you are at right now. You said listen to Dolores Cannon's audiobooks. I literally ask myself why I'm here every morning when I wake up. We see you are hurting and you matter. Oh, there's a reason why this happened tonight. And Brian, we're praying that the reason is that you give yourself more time to experience life. But there's even more reasons. There's other people that need to hear this, and there's other people that need to say it. We're all here tonight together, not by accident, sending lots of love and healing. We are glad he's talking and we are grateful. Right. Maybe find a different environment, Brian. You can seek company with your local nurses. Truly, they can help take care of you. You are spiritually upgrading, and your inside has to catch up with your higher self. I agree. Brian says, I've already done that. I've been in the process of finalizing it for 4 months. Oh, no. Happiness is on the other end of the spectrum. I'm just aiming for the middle. You have 84 hours of video recorded for your daughter. Brian, you have a daughter. Please don't do this. Please don't do this. You know the pain that has been caused by your dad doing this. Brian, I think you came here tonight because a part of you has this soul contract with all of these people to talk you out of it. Yeah, break the cycle. That is the true cycle breaking. To have a kid, you can't do the same thing. Please. Right. You can't do that. And you can't, with no amount of video, like, ease the pain from that. As someone yourself who knows what happens to a person when a parent does that, there is no amount of explaining. You said you've been crying every day for the last 3 years, every single day. You made the first step and you're talking about it. Someone said, "We understand the pain. We have all felt it." Mm. Someone said, "A video can't walk her down the aisle." Right. Brian, even the small moments, you wanna be there for them. Someone said, "Brian, I tried to end my life multiple times, and let me tell you, now I know the amount." Right. People are saying, "Brian, you're here for a reason." The amount of suffering doesn't compare to the joy that you feel. As much as you can suffer is as much joy as you can feel. I agree. Mhm. Yeah. Brian, your daughter needs you. Someone said, "I attempted 13 years ago, and I'm so grateful today that it was unsuccessful. It gets better." Your future grandchildren need you. Mhm. Try to find joy in the simple things in life. I can only imagine what joy she brings you. She needs you, and there's so much she needs you for. You said you separated from your family 3 years ago. Your wife took everything from you. I'm sorry, Brian. I'm sorry. And, it's so difficult to go through that, right? It's difficult to not be able to see your kid as much as you want to, and to have this falling out with your ex. She was the goal I had always dreamed of. But trust me, like, this is like, you will have another thing in your life that is new and worth living for. You already have your daughter, but if you don't get to see her as much as you want to because of the situation with your ex, please don't. Like, please don't do that to your daughter because she needs you. Things will change and rebuild in the relationship. And you also, there's probably someone else out there for you that you are meant to be with next. The same thing happened with your father. Your mother separated from him when she was 14 years old. You can't do the same thing because look at this pain that it has caused you. Christine, you're right. Can we help make a new plan? I agree that. I agree. You got to stay so she has a parent besides her mom. She needs a father figure to help her grow. True. She does need a parent besides the mom. You lost your company, your car, your money, everything ended after the separation. I'm sorry, Brian, but there is so much more to live for. Simply just living for your daughter, even if it's hard, that is enough to live for. But also, there's things that you don't even know yet that haven't unfolded yet. Your daughter deserves to have you. Mermaid says, I lost my mother to alcoholism at 25 and she's missed so much. My 3 children ask daily to know her. The pain is not worth her experiencing this. It's true. Right. And those are material things. I've always been the best dad in the world, making my daughter smile every single day. And you will, Brian. You will continue doing that. That alone is so much to live for. Ash says, Brian planned to be with us next Tuesday. Yes. Mhm. Brian, your daughter needs you to be the dad that you needed, to break that cycle, right? It's true. You do. I pulled a card for this situation. And the card for this situation, you said then you lost everything, you got sick, and now you're here, unable to walk. Brian, even in the state that you're in, your daughter needs you. What's left is that you have a kid and you know the pain of leaving in this way, right? And obviously, if that situation happened, no, you're not going to become a burden. This is the thing is that, it's very difficult for men, because men don't get to have as many outlets to say these things. Even when we can't physically be with the people we love, we can still send them our loving energy and they know that they feel it. That's true. Live for the sound of your daughter's laugh and smiles. Stay alive and see her live. Thank you. Right. I agree. Soul is saying, I'm so proud of you, Brian, for speaking so candidly. Yeah. For being able to say all of this. Right. What's left is your higher self, your soul's purpose, your love for your daughter, things that are coming into your life that you don't even know. We have more opportunities to heal and to pick ourselves up than people did 100 years ago. It's true. hmm Okay. I'm going to read what this says. It's the fruition card. Fruition represents the sacred moments when our aspirations, dreams, and sustained actions bear fruit, blossoming into tangible reality before our eyes. The unfolding lotus evokes a natural cycle of growth, perseverance, and the inevitable ripening that occurs when we align ourselves with the rhythms of creative gestation. When this card emerges, we may find ourselves basking in the radiance of a long awaited achievement, breakthroughs, or personal transformations that have come to fruition. We are invited to savor the nectar of our triumphs, honoring the journey that has led us to this pivotal moment. Fruition encourages us to embrace the profound sense of accomplishment and inner fulfillment that accompanies the realization of our heartfelt goals. We are reminded that the path to manifestation often requires patience, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to nurturing the seeds of our intentions through all seasons and growth. At times, this card arrives as a confirmation that our efforts have been well invested and that the natural unfolding of our life's work is occurring in perfect timing. We may find ourselves in awe of synchronicities or cosmic alignment that have conspired to midwife our aspirations into form, imbuing us with a renewed sense of trust in the unfolding journey. Ultimately, fruition extends an invitation to celebrate the fruits of our labors, to revel in the beauty of our becoming, and to graciously receive the blessings that have blossomed forth from our dedication. For it is in these moments that the sacred unfurling that we taste the sublime nectar of life's essence, invigorating us with the inspiration and affirmation to continue planting the seeds of our grandest visions. And I mean, really, it's saying that like the blossoming is happening. These things are coming to fruition. The reason that you're living life, that you were born, that you came here is still blossoming. It's still unfolding. Mhm. Brian, can you please promise us where are you, Brian? I'm scrolling through. Brian. Brian, can you please promise us that you're gonna take more time? That's all you need is to be patient. Just be a little bit patient for a little bit longer, and things are gonna change. Mhm. A symbol of peace is the opening lotus for you, Brian, and it's coming to fruition right now, but only if you stay alive and watch it bloom. Mhm. How can we make a connection to you and pull you along? I'll set a whole alarm to text you every day. Oh, Cara. Brian, you can reach out to me if you need someone to talk to. Brian, there's so many people here. Jobs, companies, relationships, all of it can come and go. Your dad lost everything too, battled depression and alcoholism for years, but he was always there for me. Yeah, that's from a daughter that is saying that none of those things mattered. All that mattered was that she had her dad. I've watched every one of your lives since day one, first time on live. I'm an expat living in Mumbai. Come visit. Oh, thank you. Mm. Brian, where are you? Are you speaking, is that Portuguese? You have a whole community here. Mhm. We can be a parent lying down. Mhm. Being here for your daughter will make a life worth living. It's so true. She's 6 years old, and you'll be 39 years old on March 4th. Brian, please, you're so young. To think that life is over at 38 years old. I'm 38 years old. I just this year at 38 finally had a relationship that worked. And I'm so happy that I'm here. Like 6 years old, she's never going to be able to understand. You need you need to wait this out. Brian, you will be 39 on March 4th. And so it is. That's non-negotiable, Brian. You hear me, Brian? It's non-negotiable. You will be 39. But she so needs you around. Just take it minute by minute, right? Yes, I speak Portuguese. My mother is Brazilian and my father was American. She needs you at 6, 8, 10. You have a 10-year-old and a 14-year-old, and there's so much that they need you for. It's true. Make a plan to take your daughter back to the beach the first chance you get. Mhm. Life is better after 40. I agree. I hear that all the time. I'm planning on living past 100 and going as long as the body lasts. And also, Brian, I know quite a few people who women who their fathers took their life when they were children, and it's just it causes pain their whole life. Like, you know the feeling of it. Do we know what city Brian lives in? No, we don't. Where are you, Brian? It gets better, Brian. Do not give up. It's just getting started. It really is just getting started. You're so young. You have a whole entire life. You're literally gonna be 40, 42, 43, looking back like, "Whoa, I can't believe that night I went on TikTok live and a whole bunch of strangers convinced me." You said nothing can fill that void, you've already tried. But it can. The void is only meant to be filled. It's it will happen. The void is the emptiness that is meant to be filled. Right? Look at that. We've made it an hour. The void is fertile. Are you in the US? I thought Brian said his birthday was on Christmas. Um, I don't know. I think his birthday is March 4th. His birthday's coming up. And birthdays are very difficult days that people reflect on their life. So as we approach our birthdays, sometimes it can be very difficult for people. Day by day, step by step. We agree. Brian, can you please promise us? Brian, I know you will, and I'm proud of you for trying. Can you give us more time? Brian says, I know, who knows? Maybe in the next life, I'll show back up in your lives and tell you what happened. No, Brian, you're here in this life for a reason right now. Right. Someone says it gets easier to handle. Right. It doesn't work like that. Right. Christine says, you are all amazing humans. Someone says, hello from Germany. We all have purpose. Seek within. Right. Brian, I feel you easing up. I feel you easing up, Brian. I think we got some more time. Brian, walk outside. God will put the right help in your path. Right. Look how many people he's brought into your path today. It may be harder. You might have to watch your daughter and loved ones. Brian, you've come so far. Don't skip the happy ending. Everything's a choice. Choose yourself, friend. You guys are amazing. Honestly, all of this, you guys all coming together. Brian, I speak lightly because this decision is no longer a burden, but it is. We feel it. We feel it. There's a reason. This rock bottom that you're at is why you ended up here today and why I was about to sign off and I saw your message come up and why we're all still here. Because it is putting things in your path. It's putting all of these people in your path. All of these people are saying, like, please, how many people tonight have said that they've done the same thing, that they've done an attempt on their own life and that they're so grateful that they lived and they're so grateful that they survived? So many people have told you that tonight. There's a reason why this unfolded in this way. You just randomly pop up in this Tuesday Night Live. You said, we're all your cheerleaders. Yeah, you came here for a reason. You said you hit rock bottom, you're not satisfied, you dug deeper holes, and if you continue, you will only In my experience with years of depression, the void is not meant to be filled. It is just a space where you find the biggest treasures, learnings, and growth to know yourself. Someone said, "You are helping me too. My brother is in a similar situation and I want to help him connect to life again. Thank you, Brian and Jen." Aw, thank you. Only when God or whoever you believe in and yourself decide it's over, then it's over. And that's why you're still here because it's not over. Yes, I do that almost every day. I'm listening to Lifehouse now. Mhm. It will get easier, Brian. I promise you, you're going to have experiences in your life that are worth living for. And you already have a daughter. There's already an experience worth living for. Yeah, right. This message that someone is saying says to just pray help. Literally, if you just pray, meditate, beg, ask, whatever word you want to use, just ask for help. The help is already coming here. There's already so many people here, but more help will come. Brian, promise us that you will chat with us. Tell Brian that worry is the misuse of information. Remember that instead, remember, I mean, no, sorry, instead, imagine everything good manifest in your future and any energy follows that thought. I'll pray for you. Thank you, Martha. Also, look at the higher frequency music. The biggest miracles in my life came out of the most miserable places. Someone says call 988. I think, I don't know if Brian is in the US. Brian, you said you wanted to wait till next week, not today. We need a few more weeks, a couple months, at least, minimum. I'm not asking you to do forever right now. Let's just take it a month or two or three at a time and let things settle. Beautiful community of people here. It's always worth staying. So much beauty. Thank you. Haven't seen a JK live in probably 4 months. I popped in when I heard you read Brian's comment. Give it a season. Right. Give it a season. 988 is also the hotline in Brazil. They have a crisis hotline that can come to your house when you're in a crisis. You don't want to leave. It's just the pain or numbness to stop. Brian, what is something in your life that you wanted to learn that you haven't done yet? Someone said, I think I needed this to happen. I'm proud you're staying grounded and helping how you can, Jen. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Brian, what is something that you want to try that you haven't got to do yet? And Brian, when is your daughter's birthday? Turn pain into purpose. I agree. Learn about your daughter. Only she can teach you. Mhm. Let's see. Today, all I wanted was to see my daughter smile every day and to play with her. But Brian, the alternative, what you're speaking of, is to not see her again in this lifetime. I no longer feel anything and I no longer want anything. And this is temporary. Trust me, it's a temporary feeling. And you can't have a permanent solution to a temporary feeling, to a temporary situation. You're going to see your daughter again. You've been wasting away for 3 years now, but it's hard to go through a separation. I know people who took 5 years, 8 years to go through a separation and then still found love again. You said this too shall pass. It will. You said you went through something very similar and the numbness eventually goes away. Brian, have you ever considered psilocybin? It's a really good medicine that can help. Someone suggested that. Yeah, someone's asking Brian, what is your daughter's gift or ability? Like, what is she good at doing? What does she enjoy doing? And other people are suggesting plant medicine also. Your daughter is here to put life into you again, Brian. Look at her age and younger you. Become the hero for both of them. It's just getting started. Acknowledge the pain from this season. Jolie says, this isn't about guilt, but the reality that if you choose this path, the chance your child would choose the same path increases by 50%. I actually study this for a living. Well, Jolie, you know what Brian shared with us is that he lost his father in the same way. So what you're saying is very true. And this is what he's dealing with right now is that he lost his father in the same way. To seek better next season, it'll get better if you choose it. Mhm. You said, I thought so too. I'm very aware of everything that's happening. You have to get good and lost to find where you're going. That's true. Someone says, depression has been the spark of creation when the dark night of the soul plays. It's a way out of life, grabbing a hold of love and light, remembering that there's always a bridge back to love. Mm, that's a good one. Brian, be stubborn, but don't be a statistic. That's true. It is true. Jolie's talking about the statistic of 50% chance. People who take their life in this way, there's a 50% chance that their kid takes their life in this way. And that is literally what you're experiencing. And like Jolie said, it's not about guilt, but then what? You can't put your own child at a 50% chance of this too. You have to break the cycle. And it will be a struggle for a bit. It's a struggle right now, but you have to overcome this because it's like an energy that is happening over your family. You said that's your fear? Breaks my heart. We have lost 3 family members, hence why I do what I do. I can promise this world is better with you in it. Right. Yeah. Jolie is saying that she's now dedicated her life to this work because of how it affects families, right? Being the 50% that choose to live. Mhm. Brian, thank you for being here and helping us go deep in our hearts for you. Mhm. Brian, we need to leave this with a promise. that you're gonna give us more time. You said nobody will know. It won't be just a number. Nobody will know, Brian. Please don't. We need you especially during these times. Stay longer. It'll get better. It will. It always gets better. Brian, what can we negotiate? What can we negotiate? Okay. Mm. Every time a negative thought enters your mind, replace it with a good memory. That's a great um, advice. That's a great bit of advice. So when you have these negative thoughts, replace it with a good memory with your daughter. Open your heart, Brian. Your daughter is you on another timeline. Staying for her is staying for you. Absolutely. Brian, what do you need from us? Like, what can we negotiate? Because we're all here for you. So you're saying nobody will know, but we'll know. A lot of us here will know. Sometimes it's the most painful things that awaken us across the bridge is brighter. It's step by step. It really is step by step. How about close the door on the year of the snake and open the new chapter? Choose love. We can't leave you hanging, brother. I know. Yeah, come on, Brian. Thanks, Brian, for being here and sharing this space. I am here. It's coming from Leslie. Mushrooms make me happy when I am low. Okay, Brian, I'm just going to ask you to try something with us. Okay. So you can participate or not, but we're all going to participate. You said, does he want new friends? A lot of people have been saying that they're following him on TikTok and that they're going to reach out to him. Um, okay. Okay. So we'll do a little bit of a heart coherence. If Brian wants to join, Brian can join. But okay. So, and I mean, we've done many different things here today. So this is just one more tool that we can use. Because he had said before, Brian was kind of like, oh, you guys go back to your happy lives. Like everybody has these ups and downs. Okay. So anybody who wants to participate, even if someone is watching this later on a replay, we're bending time and space to send this energy to Brian. So let him know someone from Missouri will be sending him lots of love and prayers daily. And thank you, Jolie, for coming here because this is what you study and work with. You came in. This is the thing is people, all different people who've attempted this, people who've lost family members to this, people who work in this, all showed up here randomly tonight on live from 3 different platforms. Okay. So we're gonna put your hand on your heart. Just breathe into the heart space. And meaning just like breathe, feel the air, fill up your lungs, and feel a lot of energy into the chest. People who felt like this week, right? No, there's a lot of people who felt like this week. There's a reason this is coming. I saw a letter in the park telling someone, do not take your life. Literally, that said, please, someone is happy. Someone's heart is full that you're in this world. That message is for so many people, not just for Brian. Brian's daughter is happy that he's in this world. Okay, so breathe into the heart space. Breathe, hold the heart just so you can kind of feel the energy concentrate. Take a nice deep breath. And I want everybody to think of a positive memory, their own positive memory that is very happy and charged. This is a happy, charged energy that you have experienced. Love for someone, love for your pet, love for a family member. Could be the happiest day of your life, could be the day that you gave birth to your child. A positive heart memory. And just as you're thinking about it, allow the energy, the thought in your brain, the memory to come back and to be sent down, filled into the heart space. And allow this positive memory to fill your heart. And now, once you feel that loving, beautiful energy in your chest, I want everybody to visualize. And if you can't visualize, just do it with your heart and imagine yourself enveloping Brian, wherever Brian is, and Brian's daughter, and Brian's father from the other side. And Brian, we're asking you to please receive this love, even if it's hard, even if you have to receive it later tonight when you're sleeping. We're asking so many people here collectively are asking Brian's higher self to please allow him to feel the love and support that is available to him from strangers, from people that he doesn't even know in this world. That there is so much support, that there is so much love, and that we're doing this for him. And we're also doing this for his daughter so that she gets to grow up and have her father be at her birthdays. We're just sending you lots of love, Brian. Heart coherence, watching my heart. You're watching your dog run along. Mhm. Right. With your pets, with your families. Take your loving energy, your loving memories, and allow Brian to tap into that energy and to envelop him and to let him get a good night's rest tonight and wake up feeling better in the morning. So much love coming your way, Brian. Sending it to you, Brian. Love and light. You already feel it. You said you remembered your dad taking you bowling at 6 years old. Oh, thank you. Sending healing. Someone says, Brian, I'm 88 and I lost my soulmate of 63 years. My life was over. And then she came along and my life was renewed just like that. Wow. Mm. Let's all breathe for our brother. Mm. Help is on the way. Sending lots of love along with soft space, a plush cushion to lean on and land on. Brian, your daughter needs you. You're present here and you love her. Seeking her too. That alone is love, unity. My younger self would have loved to have my dad to even think of me, right? I know. That's a thing, Brian. Your daughter's very lucky how much you love her. Very, very, very lucky. Even if you don't get to see her as much as you want, she is so, so lucky. There's a lot of people who don't even have a father like you. Maybe things are down right now. Maybe you don't have your life where you want it in the material, but your daughter's very lucky that you love her this much. Mhm. Someone saying that they hope that you would consider listening to frequencies or sound healing tonight. Let the universe help, okay? And anybody who wants to ask their team, their spirit team, their higher self, their loved ones to send healing and help to Brian, send support to Brian. Are you still here with us, Brian? I know you're still here with us, but are you still on this live? Calling all the angels. A girl needs her dad. Please be there for her. I agree. Sending all the love and light. Keeping you in my prayers tonight, Brian. Brian, you've got a lot of people that are going to be praying for you tonight. A lot of people that are sending you love. A lot of people that are sending your daughter love. And also breaking this cycle. We know that your dad from the other side does not want you to continue this cycle. The cavalry has been called and we are sending him all the support. Just hold your horses. Come see and chat with us next week and tell us what the universe did. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to be live next Tuesday, but there will be on YouTube. So, but Brian, I want to hear from you now. The presence of the heart, mind, and love devotion are priceless for a daughter with her dad, right? That's all that matters. But the universe helped support it out, Brian. I asked this and it worked. Thank you for holding on for another night. Yeah. When is your next live? So next week I'll be posting a pre-recorded interview because I'll be at Conscious Life Expo and then I am back. Let me look at the calendar. Hmm. Brian, Brian, in 2 weeks is March 3rd and your birthday is the 4th. So you better be here for your birthday party. Okay. Because we're having a celebration for you on March 3rd on Tuesday Night Live. Okay. So, Brian, you better make it to your birthday party. I'm just telling you right now because we're all going to be very upset if you're not here for your birthday party on March 3rd. Because this is very serious business. We're having a party for you. Okay, Brian? Are you there? Maybe our loving energy sent Brian to take a nap. Yeah. It's about to be lit for Brian's birthday. Thank you, Jen, for holding space. My birthday is March 9th, and I'll be here for Brian's birthday party. Yes. Happy birthday, Brian. Putting it on the calendar. Yes. Birthday party for Brian in the chat. Okay. Well, I'm going to go. I'm going to, let me just scroll up and make sure that I find Brian's page because I don't want to lose him. Let's see. Oh, dropping the phone. Brian. Let me find Brian. Here we go. Brian. I'm following Brian. Oh, he's a private account. Let me screenshot this so I can message him or try to message him. And then I had to tell Brian, I had to send him an invite to his birthday party. Okay. March 3rd, we'll be back for Brian's birthday party, and we're celebrating life despite when it's hard. That was incredible. Humbly grateful to have joined when I did. Oh, thank you, Leslie. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you to Brian for being candid and opening up in this space and allowing us all to reflect on these things and to be a mirror for everybody in different ways. And also, thank you to everybody for all of this collective effort of being here. And can you share his so we can send him some love? Yeah. Let me see. He's on TikTok. So let's see. Brian, where are you? THAMICACA. Okay. That is the handle. Go tell Brian that we're coming to his birthday party next 2 weeks from now. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming together for this. This is what it's about, right? This is what really matters is, yeah. Someone said it's not easy being here. Yeah. But this is what we're all here for, right? We are here for, yeah. Okay. Well, Brian, we'll see you on the 3rd. What book do you recommend most? I would say Journey of Souls, and I recommend Journey of Souls to Brian too. Okay. This is what we signed up for, right? This is it. Thank you everybody for we're doing this collective beautiful thing. Thanks Jen. I joined late just in time for Brian who I'll rewatch later. Oh, big sis Jen, thanks. Right. So, we're over here on YouTube too, so okay. Well, all right. Well, thanks everybody. I so appreciate this experience. Brian, we love you. See you at the birthday party. Mhm. Okay. Thanks everybody. We will be back in 2 weeks and this has been a beautiful experience for everybody to come together and support someone who feels alone and felt like they didn't have support. Okay, bye everybody. Love you guys so much. And I'm so grateful for this community and just the amazing souls of so many people coming together and being like, really taking the time to be thoughtful and loving towards a stranger that's in need. Okay. Love you guys. See you soon.